The chat's gonna let us know. I'm gonna pull it up on. Let me pull it up on my Mac. I'm drinking 5 beers tonight because I can't drink for 5 days after this, man. What's your artillery like tonight?
I've got 3 beers on tap, plus 1 in bottles.
Good man.
So I've got a full arsenal ready to go.
All right, brother. All right, let me pull this up. Good man. All right, let me. I'm just gonna. All right, brother. This is awesome. Party time. Party time brewing. Get this. Party time is here. Okay, so let me try to figure out why it's.
Awesome. Party time.
Let's go to. I'm gonna mute that. Can you hear me now?
Party time is here. Okay, so let me try to figure out why it's.
Let me go to. Okay, we can kill that. We're gonna go to. Can't hear me now. I'm gonna go to audio out. Let's go to speakers high definition. We're gonna go to H2. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Might have to go back to just the old one. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Yeah. Can you not hear me? Uh-oh. Okay, we're just going to do it this way. Hello, 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 hello. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? All right, I think we're good, man. Did I get my... What happened to these? Yeah, I just want my sound clips to come through. They are.
Yeah, I just want my.
All right, we're good, brother. What's going on, everybody? This is Animated Homebrewing. Are you there?
I guess I'm here. I'm bouncing back between Discord and...
Kill the audio that's coming through your speakers on YouTube because it's coming through. Okay, now we shouldn't be able to hear. What's going on, everybody? This is Animated Homebrew. He's got a YouTube channel. He's up there in Canada on our time. Hope everyone's doing well. What's up, Animated? What are you drinking? Okay. All right, they're saying bring audios. Ray's audio is animated. Animated, super cool. Ray's animated audio. That's on my end. I could pull this up really fast. Let me go to, let's pull this through speakers. How about now? Check one, check one. No sound on animated.
I can hear, yeah.
This should work.
I'm just trying to make sure my syncing is also good.
Think we're good, man. Really quick, want to give a shout out to, who was on last night? Prost, no. TheApartmentBrewer, man, that was fun. We had a good powwow today. We talked a little bit about the YouTube blues, this and that. And as always, with the super chatters, giving me love, supporting this somewhat show. It was ChrisRadi, RonBarnes, Theron. He's in here right now. What's going on, you barrage? ZacharieMcCrary, TheApartmentBrewer. And turns out I have a monthly super chatter. His name is Zurazzansi. So much love to that, man. So thank you to everybody who's here. We haven't done 2 in a week in a long time. Animated, I'm glad you're here, man. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I guess I've been in the brew tubing game, if that's what you call it.
Yeah.
For I don't know, like 6 months now, and I've put out I should probably check how many videos I've done.
16.
Not nearly as many as you guys. But
I think you got 16.
I've got a few and sort of bouncing around between different styles of content, different kind of things from tastings to home brewing, and maybe gonna do some other things later on if depending on how it goes.
This is so cool. Goose Robba says this is badass. This is badass. I want to give a quick little shout out to Kurt Pick and everybody who's here right now. Zach Pearson, Jacob Fish. What's going on, guys? Matthew Landis. Animated, loved your video on the Brewzilla. Animated, I loved your video on the Brewzilla. How are you still liking it? From Matthew Landis.
It's going. How am I liking it?
Yeah.
Making videos?
No, on the Brewzilla.
The Brewzilla is good. I've got the 120 volt Brewzilla.
Yeah.
And so my one gripe with it is it's not as so the vigor of my boil is not as intense as I usually get, but
Same with
yeah.
me. And there's a way to go around that because you have to kind of find this fine line of putting your lid on your Anvil Foundry or your Brewzilla, but you have to kind of also pay attention to it that it won't boil over because it will. So I keep it like 2 inches off, and it's the perfect rigorous boil, so you know that you're losing 1 gallon per 60 minutes because it's not like propane.
That's the one gripe that I have about it is like, and I guess I'm sort of learning as I go, and I'm kind of learning in a public way, because like my first videos, there was a few comments of people like, oh no, you're not supposed to have the lid on while you're doing your vigorous boil. And it's like, oh shoot, yeah. So like I'm going back on my earlier videos and I'm learning as I go.
Yeah, live and learn, man. That's what YouTube's all about. I'm actually talking with Clawhammer right now. I was congratulating them on their new badass video. And we're still living and learning. You can always learn and live. Who's this? But let me get back to the stream, make sure everything's good. Producers, is it good to go? Rubio, Zach Pearson, how do we sound? Is everything good? He's walking back. So tell us what you're doing. You're pushing buttons and your guy will drink and shake his head and blink or go left or right?
Yeah, I'm the way I do my animation is I use an Adobe system that lets me kind of do a whole bunch of different, I've got all these triggered things that I can just do hotkeys for hand motions and different stuff like that. So it's called Adobe Character Animator, and it's it's pretty cool. I started using it a few months ago, or like maybe back in, actually it was 2020 I started using it. And I've been sort of learning how to do it, and it's kind of a fun thing.
How long does this take?
For all of it, like this is the culmination of me setting it up and doing it, so it's like multiple hours because you gotta draw it, you gotta bring it into the software, you gotta do the tagging.
I feel like I'm on South Park.
It's just it's a lot of work.
Right on, man. I don't really, this is kind of loose leaf. I used to kind of write questions down for having people come on, but usually it just happens organically. What made you start homebrewing?
That was a long time. It was like 2015. I think I remember some of your live stream videos. It was kind of like the same time frame that I started. Like, did you start 2014 or 2015?
I started brewing probably late 14, early 15, and then we ran out of space pretty fast. And my then girlfriend at the time, we had moved to where we are now. I'm here by myself. We broke up about 6 months ago or a year ago. I should know that. That's probably why we broke up. But we needed a garage very badly, and we still destroyed the kitchen because we were doing extract batches, and obviously your only heat source is your stove. Electric gas doesn't matter. Well, it does matter. Propane's going to be a lot faster. But we needed a garage ultimately, and we had a carport at that time. So we moved over here, and the deal was kind of, I'll pay more for the garage, and I just made it it's not even a man cave. It's pretty much just a brew house, and that was probably 2016. So we started doing videos in 2016, brewing in 2016, and then I'd get really frustrated with not getting any organic views and shine, and YouTube was way more difficult than I had thought, and then we'd get a couple videos here and there, but at the time I knew nothing about the content strategy or the psychology of the viewer. So I would just take time off from brewing and YouTube. And then we didn't really pick it back up full time until pretty much COVID happened. And that's kind of when we haven't taken the breaks off since. We don't do a weekly video, but I try to, and I get pretty close. But it's a lot of work, man. Brewing's a lot of work. And then
for me to produce, I don't know, it's like Trent
Brew Show.
On the Brew Show.
He's here right now.
Man, it's like a video per week.
Yeah.
That's I guess I kind of stupidly picked the niche of animation with YouTube videos, and so that takes.
You are the hardest worker. I could tell right now. You are the hardest worker.
I basically picked the hardest niche possible, and so
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
And it's funny.
My 2-week turnaround time is, I don't know. I've sort of had a gap of 3 weeks where I didn't do anything, but yeah, I'd say the fastest I could probably do is like a 2-week turnaround. 2
videos a month. It's funny because I was talking to NBC Barrage, Lex Steele in the house, just donated $20. We'll hit an NBC here in a second. And I have Sierra Nevadas tonight because we were talking about him so much last night. We're talking about Old Faithful Pale Ale that it got me to buy some. That's how word of mouth works. But I was talking to, Todd Mellon. I can't stop laughing. This is so cool. I got to get this on Instagram, even though nobody from Instagram will come over here, but this is very cool. But I was talking to Trent today. Sorry, I've got ADD. And this chat screen, looking at you, looking at myself on the computer to make sure everything is going accordingly. It doesn't help with the ADD. But Trent, he books out videos a couple in advance, 2 or 3 in advance. And I'm not like that, and I should be. I should be doing like, hey, let's brew today, work on another video, and then come back to the beer video from the other day. But I'm not like that. But yeah, Trent's got a full-time job, and he puts out a video pretty close to once a week. Pretty much every week except for 1 week.
Yeah, and I'm finding that like now that I've put out, I don't know, 15 or 16 videos, and I've got a backlog of, I don't know, 5 or 6 other videos of like I've done the filming, but I haven't quite I haven't put it all together. So yeah, so now I've got a decent amount of B-roll footage that I don't even need to shoot new stuff.
Yeah.
I've got enough videos of myself mashing and stirring and doing stuff like that. The only real difference is the weather in the background changes. So like there's a couple one where like the leaves are falling, and then a few ones where the sun is shining, and so as long as I've got something for every single season, it seems to be like 5 more batches, and I won't need to do any more filming ever again.
Yeah, we're going to do an NBC. This one's for Lex Steele, but when we come back, I'm going to talk to you about some shortcuts to helping out so you're not filming the same shots over and over and over. I'm going to rip this beer or try my best. Animated. People want to see. Well, it's going to cut to the NBC clip, but there you go. Oh, yeah, check it. Wait, check. All right, here we go.
I know what we have to do. What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What? Just say it! M. Say it. B. No. Say when.
C.
Yeah! That went all over my feet. Yeah! It's like Splash Mountain.
That was legit.
But in the meantime, where'd you go? Where'd you go?
Oh,
where's your guy?
There I am.
All right.
Just walking around.
Yeah. So why is this kind of the shtick, or do you really not want to show your face?
Oh, I'm in more than half of my video. Like for my brewing videos, I'm in the video.
I know you
can
are.
See me.
Yeah, but you don't put your face out in front of the camera like all of us other shitheads do.
Yeah. So this is, I don't know. I'm not. If I can add something to the home brewing space, then it's some kind of, I don't know. It's approachability. It's more easy and fun and carefree, and nobody cares, and my character is sort of messing around and jumping and bouncing off the floor and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's supposed to be kind of a funny way. Like I'm not trying to hide my face. I don't have like a hideous scar or anything like that. That's
well, now you can't hide your face, or now you can't show your face because it's never going to live up to how cool this is.
Yeah. Well, if you look back at, I think it's some of my like my hazy IPA video or the mediocre one or whatever that I did. Like I'm front and center. I'm brewing in the background. It's just that my character is sort of doing all the work. So
I'm putting this on Instagram. We're gonna see if we get people over here. Even though I don't have, this is for the Homebrew for Life Instagram. I don't have another. I can't do another social media account. It's just too many already. I'm already on way too much of these. Maybe I'll put the link in the bio. How'd you jump up right there?
I pushed the letter T on my keyboard.
All right, I'm gonna put this in this, and we're gonna go to share it. This guy, dude. All right, let's do that, and we're gonna go. Where's the link? Take the link, and we're gonna put it in the bio. Go to profile, edit, and we'll put this in here.
I was thinking about doing a different background. Like I was like, oh, what
This is
should I do for like a happy hour background? I could do any kind of environment, and so I figured
This is a great background. This is a
do
great
a bar.
Yeah. So I guess you don't really need a green screen. That was probably the dumbest thing I've ever said. This guy, dude.
Yeah,
What's
no,
the-
it's basically just layers. It's a Photoshop layer behind my character, and so I just copied and pasted it. And then there's a Photoshop layer in front of my guy, so you can sort of, he's got legs and everything. It's just I put a bar table in front of him, so
Yeah.
he's got that in front of him.
Best mediocre beer recipe video. I like that video a lot. What is your deal with Belgian beers and Trappist styles? Is that your favorite beer, or is it just a bigger thing in Canada, or why do you kind of put your emphasis behind that?
So that was my original idea. So I was one of the ideas of getting into doing the homebrew challenge, or the homebrew challenge is one of the things I was like, oh, that'd be really cool if I could do that. And so I was trying to figure out how could I do something similar to, the homebrew challenge, the guy who did was it 99 beers
Yeah,
in
of course.
99 weeks
Yeah.
or whatever?
Yeah. I know everybody.
So my original idea for the video was basically to do the same thing but with Trappist beers. And I was like, oh, I'm kind of partial to Belgian beers. Like they're not the only thing that I drink, but it's just kind of, it's a cool limited number of breweries and a cool limited number of beers, just like the homebrew challenge where he's got a set of 99. And so like that's sort of, there's like a start and a finish to it. So I was like, oh, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do like a 99, or I think it's 65 Trappist beers. And I was going to be like brewing my way through Trappist beers. But you soon realize that's nowhere near practical, because you can't get the yeast, first of all. So there's only like 6 or 7 commercially available Trappist yeasts. And then second of all, I would just be sick to my stomach for drinking Belgian beers for 66 weeks or 66 batches in a row. So I was like, okay, how can I not kill my love of Belgian beers? And so I was like, okay, well, I'll just do like a homebrew channel, plus do like a bit of Trappist tastings or something, integrate Trappist beers and Belgian beers somehow on the side.
Okay, from the
So that's
top,
kind of-
for all the kids at home, what are Trappist beers? What's your best, what's your best 10-second elevator speech on Trappist beers, or 2-hour elevator speech?
So Trappist is it's a protected name, just like Scotch is a protected name. So you can't just go ahead and make whiskey and call it Scotch. It has to meet the requirements of coming from Scotland and being aged for a certain number of years or whatever.
Like champagne.
So the same for Trappist. Yeah, exactly. So
Sparkling
it's
wine.
the same for Trappist beers. There's only, I think it's like 14 Trappist breweries, and these are all Catholic monasteries, and they all have, some of them have super old brewing traditions, like they've been brewing beers for like 500 years or whatever. Some of them are just brand new breweries, which is kind of interesting too. But yeah, they're also strictly non-profit. So anything that they do is like it's just pure charity. So all their decisions about marketing and what ingredients to use, it's all non-profit, which is kind of reflected in the quality. They don't have like shareholders, and they don't have any kind of financial pressure on that side. So because of that, they're routinely seen as like some of the best beers in the world.
Because it
so that's
stems
sort
from
of-
the religious vibe, or they're nonprofit on their own accord?
That's
Same thing.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing. So they're like, it's these Trappist, it's these monasteries. So like, there's been Christian monasteries in Europe for, I don't know, 1500 years or whatever. And one of the ways that the monasteries would support themselves is farming and baking bread and like making products or whatever, and brewing beer is one of the things. And they happen to be
Gotta have the
really
beer.
good at it, and they were good at record keeping because they were the only ones who could read, I guess, and write. And then so they've sort of developed this reputation that monasteries and are good at brewing beer, and it's sort of part of the brewing tradition. Like they're the ones who have kept a lot of strains of yeast alive, and it's just it's kind of a cool history, and you can sort of read about each one. And some of them are very strange. Like some of them are much more commercially oriented. Like they have a decent website and they have a marketing department, and then some of them are just
Rubio.
almost like they don't care. They're clueless, or they don't care, and they're like, yeah, whatever. We brew beer. It's rated some of the best beer in the world, but they're not promoting it. They're not branding it. They don't run ads or anything. They're just like, yeah, we're the best in the world. We don't care. We're still only going to produce like a few hundred barrels a year or whatever. So
Is Chamele a Trappist beer? Or if not, what's the number one beer we would know in circulation?
Chamele is Trappist, yeah. The biggest three are Chamele, Westmalle, and La Trappe. Those are the three by biggest volume.
Okay.
So those are the three that you'd probably recognize.
I'm gonna go buy me some Chamele as soon as I get off this and start drinking, and give them a shout out to all the hundreds or thousands of years that they've done, and I'm gonna become a Trappist fan ASAP.
So I know that you're kind of less excited about Belgian beers, but
yeah,
so that's why whenever I'm recommending Belgian beers to people who are not like Belgian, who have never tried it or not really excited about it, is to start with like the lower gravity, the lower alcohol, kind of lighter ones. Like there's Belgian singles or ones like that, and like don't jump into the triples and quadruples and like the more intense beers that are just gonna like knock your socks off. So there's I think La Trappe has a single, and they all have like a Belgian double, and so there's some really good ones there.
When I think I burned myself out on Belgian beers. They were definitely popular in 2015, 2016 when the whole craft beer rush was going on. I think every brewery had a Belgian at one point, and now it's kind of rare for breweries to have, not rare, but I would say less than half carry a Belgian on. But I had a really good Belgian the other night at my buddy's brewery called Battle Mage, and I figured it out. It's because I figured out why I don't like Belgians. It's because they kind of remind me of bananas. But the one at Battle Mage, it was so banana-y that I actually liked it. Because when I grew up, I went to 7-Eleven every day. And it was all about getting candy or a hot dog or a Slurpee. And I'd always get Runts or I wasn't a chocolate guy. I was a sweet guy. I was always Nerds or Twisted something. Fun Pack, Fun Dip. And I always loved the banana in Runts. And nobody liked banana candy except me. And Battle Mage makes a beer that is so Belgian-y, it just tastes like banana. So when it kind of tastes like banana, I don't like it. But when it's like full-on banana runt, I love it. And I could drink 6 of them. I don't know why. If it's kind of there, it bums me out. And if it's fully there, I could drink it like it's a Coors Light.
Yeah.
I
think
know.
there's the...
If it's a little bubble gum or a little banana, I'm out. But if it's full banana, I'm buying pints.
Oh yeah. I think Belgian triple is often noted for hints of banana. So like the Westmalle triple or Chamele White is another one. Then La Trappe has a triple, and so if you need to have your banana flavor profile in order to jump on board, then probably go triple.
Okay. Because now I'm gonna make one, and I'm gonna kind of make fun of myself this whole time, and I've already got the clips all lined up of what I want to use, and The channel does not have a Belgian beer on it, and I am due because I don't know if it is. I know it was always niche, but I don't know. How would you explain just Belgian style beers in the craft beer world as far as the trend goes? Is it coming back? I mean, how is it any different in Canada?
Belgian. So to me, it's like almost like the natural progression of beer curiosity. Like when your first beer that you ever had was some I don't know, Macro, Coors Light, Budweiser, something like that. And then once you
Chihuahua.
first get once you get introduced to craft beer, then you probably you and I are similar age, so like
I don't know. I'm
getting into
49. No, I'm kidding. I'm 36. How old are you?
Yeah, I'm 35.
35. We're the same age.
So like yeah, the IPA
anybody else
was
from 28.
like the thing to drink in I don't know, the early 2000s or whatever.
Sure.
And so that was like a big deal, but then I don't know, after a while you sort of get burnt out of the crazy hoppiness that like punches you in the face.
You get burnt out of
So
everything. You get burnt out
Yeah,
of your favorite bands.
That's exactly right. So I think to me, then people like naturally start exploring, like going to craft breweries around here in Vancouver. There's so many sours and saisons, and a lot of them are having different kind of like low alcohol, non-alcohol beers, and then like this huge explosion in seltzers is like the new thing or whatever. So it's like people's tastes and curiosity seems to just like expand over time. And to
Yeah.
me, one of the directions that inevitably craft beer lovers or homebrewers will gravitate to is like the Belgian style, because it's on the list of like the most popular beer styles or whatever. And there's a lot of big homebrewers that I respect. They list that as like their favorite beer style is the Belgian triple or whatever. And so, yeah, it's like if you're burnt out on a particular beer style, or it's like, oh man, I just can't deal with IPAs anymore, then it's like, okay, well now it's time for you to branch out and go get like a mixer pack of stuff you haven't tried yet. And if you haven't got into Belgian beers yet, then you need to get in. You need to get on that.
I think that's great advice. Just in general, what you just said on not getting burned out on beer is do not buy 6-packs. Buy them individually, and you're going to appreciate that style, any style, that much more. Because if I had a milk toast, lactose, sour fruited something last night, and I bought one of them and it was delicious, and that was it. But if I drank 6 of them, I'd probably burn myself out on that. If I picked up a 6-pack or a 4-pack and I got one Czech Pilsner, one super banana Belgian, one sour lactose milkshake hazy IPA, and then one, I don't know, Berliner Weiss, I'd probably appreciate those way more individually than if I bought those same beers by the 6-pack. That's a very good way not to get burned out on a style. Drink
So in
the same
in
amount
Canada,
of beer,
or at
just
least
different
yeah.
styles.
in BC
ZacharieMcCrary.
at least, you can't. I'm not sure if like. I know that you in the States often you can just like pick up like a 6-pack off the grocery store shelf, and then you can like mix and match, just like pick random bottles and just like pick individual 12-ounce bottles.
Sometimes you get a
not
deal
sure
on it too.
Yeah. Or you just get a big single bottle of like a 22 or 24-ounce bottle of something.
I'm gonna need more than
something
that.
you've never tried before.
Yeah, the bummer about that though is those are going to be $15. That's a lot of money to spend on beer. I don't even spend that type of money on wine. Steve and I talked about that last night. But yeah, you know, that's a good way to try beer is, do you have like Barrel Republics where you live up there where it's beer by the ounce? You can you pour your own beer, and there's these new places now where you pour your own beer, so you don't have to commit to a full pint. It's more expensive. It's an expensive place to get drunk because it's by the ounce. So if you add 16 ounces up, it's going to come out to about $10 a pint. But it's a very good place to try beer because you're only pouring a taster for yourself or a half pint for yourself.
Yeah, I don't, like there's to me you just get a flight, right?
Or but there's actual places you can go to now with restaurants where you pour your own beer. There's not many of them, but there's 2 in my town. There's one in Carlsbad and there's one in Oceanside, which is the neighboring coastal town north of here. But it's a very good concept. It's just kind of expensive.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that would be. Yeah, I haven't really looked around. There's a couple places that have, like, they're known for having the biggest beer selection or whatever. They got 70 different kind of beers on tap or whatever. And so there's a couple cool places like that, but I'm not sure if you can
Get a flight.
like other than asking for can I have a sample of this and a sample of that? You basically just you be like, okay, wow, there's like 12 different Dunkelweizens. I'll take that one
And you're
then
that
see
guy.
if you like it or not.
Yeah, asking this guy for.
Hopefully you're out with a couple guys who don't mind like sharing
Sure.
a half pint with each other or whatever.
Yeah. Brandon McMillan, my local bottle shop has a beer advent calendar that is awesome for trying lots of beers. That's a very good way not to get burned out on beers. And it's not even that. I mean, I have certain IPAs that I'll only drink. Fresh squeezed IPA, Torpedo, and I just get burned out on that style, and you have to switch to another IPA. But I'm not IPA'd out. I'm just kind of looking for something new. So I will brew that Belgian. And I'm going to talk to you about that because I want to make sure it's as banana-y as a banana runt from my childhood. Banana runt childhood Belgian.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. Matthew Landis, I like Trogs. If you go to the brewery, you can get a lot of beers they don't offer anywhere else. You get some questions too.
Yeah, I'm trying to multitask here. I'm trying to type.
It's a lot.
Some response.
It's not good for people with ADHD.
No, it's not.
Or
and
can
I'm
hone it
also
in.
trying to
Yeah.
keep it interesting with the hotkeys. Like I'm trying to.
Yeah.
My guy's trying to drink beer,
Yep.
and then he's trying to like walk around, and like he's jumping a bit.
Yep.
Here.
It's going to be very interesting in about 4 hours when we're NBC'd out.
Yeah, I'll just do some more interesting things here. There we
need a
go.
beer.
There we go.
So if you want to have your guy chug a beer or have it to your mouth, do you have to hold the key down for that amount of seconds?
Yeah. So the one weird thing that I noticed is that if my guy's facing away,
Gustavo.
and then it's like his face misaligns or something. I don't know.
It looks good to me, man. I think it looks good to everybody else. Just hold down the chug button, Goose Fraba. Yeah.
Up there. See, I don't know why it does that. So there we go.
Trogs.
Also,
Sorry, what?
I'm trying to hotkey. So like trying to also, his beer is supposed to go down as he drinks.
Yeah.
Oh, chug, 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 chug.
I'm gonna get a beer. We'll do an NBC.
Right.
I'm gonna hit the NBC. I'll be right back.
I know what we have to do.
What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What?
Just say it! M.
Say it.
B.
Say when.
C.
Can't hear you when we go to the NBC clip.
Yeah, I just noticed that. I've got the YouTube thing open, and so like I'm watching. It's a few seconds delayed or whatever. So
Yeah.
I gotta up my game on how this works.
It's me. You're going off through the Discord, but if you want to look at anything, you're only gonna be able to see me on YouTube, and it's about 8 seconds off.
Okay, yeah.
We got Elementary Brew Co. in the house. What's up, you Braj? Omega makes a banana yeast. Guillermo Jimenez. Good looking out, man. I will definitely put that on my radar. I am going to send Todd Jackson an invoice for it right now. Apartment Brewer knows about Trogs. He uses their glass in his intro. That's a good point. You know all about glasses, too. Specific beer styles have to go in specific glasses. No?
Yeah, for the other cool thing about Trappist beers is each one of them has a custom designed like piece of glassware that it's like their branded kind of glassware or whatever. And so pretty much every single one of them just has like their own collectible glass. And actually a cool story, I bought like 4 or 5 of them to do this tasting series.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, oh shoot, man, I'm gonna need to get like there's 14 of them that I need to collect. And one of the guys in the hoppy hour reached out to me when I mentioned that in one of the chats like 4 or 5 months ago. He offered to buy them for me.
Nice.
He sent me he sent me 6 Trappist glassware like chalices, but 2 of them broke in transit, and so like my most recent Trappist beer video with the La Trappe double was actually made with a cup that was given to me by one of the guys from the Hoppy Hour.
That's awesome, man. That's why this is the best community in the world, and we're the smallest community in the world. And I proved that to myself today because I was actually, there you go, hotkey beer chug. I was looking up, like, the biggest communities or the biggest things going on YouTube are probably gaming, and then or cooking, and then gaming, and then CrossFit, and then makeup and art and more CrossFit and more biking, cycling, cars, fishing, hunting, bowling, yo-yoing is bigger than homebrewing. There's some bowling channels that have like 500,000 subscribers. And then down at the bottom is us homebrewers. So that's super cool that somebody reached out and sent you some glasses.
Yeah.
When you're small, you're closer. Park it.
Yeah, so now I've got this collection. I've got I don't know, probably like 7 or 8 of the Trappist glassware, so I'm able to do 3 or 4 more, and I'm trying to figure out how to get those last 3 or 4 glass chalices so I can finish the series. If that, it'll take me probably another year or 2 to get through all of them.
I get it now. I mean, I'm feeling the vibe, the history, your passion behind this. And to anybody who's watching right now, there's a link to Animated's channel. I'm gonna write down how many subscribers he has, unless you know off the top of your head. Homebrewing is the best community.
I checked this morning. I was at 642 this
642.
morning.
How many subscribers are we going to have by the end of the night? Just got a super chat from ZacharieMcCrary. Much love, you Braj. Cheers, you Braj. Zach's always showing us love, man. Everybody in here showing us love. 642 this morning. Subbies. Let's see if we can get you over 700. That'd be rad. That would be rad. Elementary Brew Co. Homebrew YouTube has the best community. We do. We just got to keep people brewing because it's tough to brew, and it's tough to film your brews and put out content like this. And we're never going to get millions of views or hundreds of thousands of views, but it's still cool. It's still really cool to be a part of something. Brandon Chamberlain, super chat. Much love to Brandon Chamberlain. Not the guy I went to high school with, but much love. Cheers, Brandon. Cheers, you Braj. Cheers, Zach. Cheers, Lex Steele. Do you not like IPAs? Is that kind of your niche? You didn't like the more popular styles, so you went Belgian?
No, I still drink IPAs. Like
Okay.
I've my home brewing. I'm able to homebrew a lot more now than I used to. When I first started, it was like once every 2 or 3 months. So when I had the chance, I'd be like, okay, whatever. What's gonna be my beer that I'm wanting to drink most? And so that was mostly. It was like I would just bounce around between IPA, amber ale, blonde ale, and brown ale, or whatever. And those were my. I had like 4 or 5 recipes, but now that I'm brewing a lot more, now I'm able to expand, and so the IPA portion of my recipe repertoire has now shrunk to, I don't know, like less than 10% of my recipes or whatever is doing IPAs.
How do you find time to brew and edit? I'd imagine you have a real job.
Yeah, I
unlike me.
do. Yeah, so my it's like weekends or whatever for brewing and for editing. So that's why one of the reasons why I got the Brewzilla electric brew system is
So you
it shortens my
pay attention as
my
much.
brew day time. Because you can set the water to be at strike temperature whenever you want, and
Right.
so the way I do is like on a Friday night, you set the temperature so that when you wake up first thing on a Saturday, it's at strike temperature whenever you want. So at like 8 a.m., I've got water at strike temperature, and I can mash in right away.
Yeah, and they say in the instructions, do not leave it unattended or do not leave it overnight. But that is exactly why we bought it. So we can leave it unattended and we can leave it overnight because it has temperature control on it. That's the whole idea of temperature control. Whoa.
Yeah, I think they're just being like legal, whatever, like their compliance department. They
No, I
can't
know. It's a liability
tell us.
thing. It's a liability
So,
thing.
yeah, whatever.
We got to do an NBC. Zach Pearson just donated $50. I haven't seen the cat in a while. The cat in the hat.
Cheers.
With the now everyone's tripping on LSD. We've got a cartoon and a cat with the what's it called? The penguin's umbrella. The hypnotized glasses. Goes to your monthly Adobe license fee animated brewing. It goes to me, but I will buy him a beer. Let's go NBC Utah. Get me to Utah. Get me too. Anybody name that movie? I know that movie. I'll give you a hint. It's Gary Busey, and that just gave it away. Much love to Zach Pearson, man. Cheers. That was a barrage move right there, man. Much love.
Cheers.
That helps out with the penis reduction surgery and me not ever getting a roommate or having to go back to work construction in January, even though I still think I am because it's my friend and I gave him my word. Hypnotized, John Reese. John Reese subscribed to your channel. There's a couple other people in here who subscribed to your channel. Much love, John Reese. Much love, Kevin Altman. I subscribed for good measure. It keeps people from not getting burned out. The more you subscribe, the more they're going to keep making content because people burn out. I was talking to Steve last night about having a video that does good and having a video that does bad. And it's like baseball or doing stand-up comedy. If you're getting laughs, it's addicting. If you're not getting laughs, you question a lot of things. If you're striking out all the time, you want to quit. When you're hitting home runs, you want to keep playing. And YouTube's the same exact way. So much love to all you guys that just subscribed. Hey,
655, look at that.
655. Still alive. We got a barrage in here from New Zealand. Happy Friday. Chalky White. That sounds like an IPA. That sounds like nose beers. Chalky White nose beers IPA. Kurt Pick, evening Chalky. We're going to have fun tonight. We're going to drink 10 beers. Because I'm not going to drink for 5 days after this because I have 3 videos I have to edit. They're all like these videos I'm chopping up now in the happy hour. Like I'll take that video, what is a Trappist? Because you gave a perfect answer on that. And I'll put that on the happy hour channel. It'll be a 4-minute video because I don't know if you're like me, but if you see a 15-minute on YouTube, you have to be invested in that. And it's just a different viewership than if you just see a 3-minute podcaster talk about a topic. Like I can just click on those easier. Do you have that same kind of thought process or?
Yeah, I think there's like different, whatever I'm primed to watch. Like I think collectively everyone's attention spans have been greatly diminished. And
Yeah.
so we're only interested in clicking on something that's 30 seconds or whatever.
Yep. TikTok.
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out the appropriate length for creating my own content is you're being pulled in 2 different directions because I think YouTube rewards longer content.
That was the old algorithm. I'll explain that after this though. I want to.
Yeah, and so I'm trying to figure out if like I don't want to have a lot of dead space in my videos, but at the same time, to get to 1,000 subscribers where you get monetized or you have the chance to get monetized.
We're going to get you there tonight.
You need to have a certain number of view hours, and so
That's the
I need
toughest
to
part.
get hours, but then also don't bore my audience or whatever. So it's kind of an interesting game.
Here's the algorithm on YouTube as best as I know how to. No, here's a better topic. Here's how the algorithm changed on YouTube. So before TikTok came out, before YouTube Shorts, there was TikTok. YouTube Shorts came out to compete with TikTok. They're 2 different companies. But before before TikTok came out, YouTube was all about the 10-minute video because they would put an ad every 5-minute increment. So there was a time where I'd watch YouTube videos and the guy would be at like 9 minutes 48. And he would just sit there and you could tell what he was doing. He was dragging out the video so he could get another ad. So that was the old style. So if you had a 20-minute video a couple of years ago, it's going to get way more shine than it is going to be now. YouTube now, they'll put 2 ads, sometimes straight off the gate, they always put an ad off the gate, but sometimes they'll do 2, and then sometimes they'll put an ad a minute or 2 in. It's not about long videos now. It's all about YouTube wants you to watch the video all the way through. They want you to watch the video all the way through from start to end. Because if you do that, you have a better chance of sitting through that ad. Whatever ads that they put in there. So like the nut nowadays is about 7 or 8 minutes. Just look at anybody who's successful's channel. Look at Mr. Beast. Look at SSS Sniper Girl. And what's funny is I learned this stuff like a week ago, and I sat down with a couple of not YouTube, but people that know what they're doing. And they looked at my channel. They're like, hey, your average view duration is about 5 minutes. And I'd put out a 22-minute video on brewing a bag or something like that. And more often than not, you're going to have your 10% viewers crowd that'll sit through it to the end. But 90% of the people are not going to be there at the end. They're not. So if you're giving shout outs or telling people to subscribe, they're not even there. You know, we're talking about attention spans nowadays. It's about 8 minutes is a good video, you know? So I'll start with a 14-minute video, and then I'll try to condense it to 12, and then I'll try to condense it to 9 or 10 or whatever. And then I'll try to get around that 8, but it's long story short, you want to have your average view duration over about 60%. And mine was definitely not that. People were not watching all my videos. Oh, we'll talk more about this when we're off, but that was the algorithm. It went from long videos, ads every 5 minutes, to YouTube having to figure out to compete with TikTok. Hence YouTube Shorts, which I love because sometimes I just want to see a 1-minute video. You're like, damn, this guy put this video out. It's 25 minutes. Like, fuck. I don't know if I can sit through this shit. Even my favorite YouTube channels, even Cinemassacre, they'll put out like a 25-minute video. It's like, I got to be ready for this. And the big channels that are super successful, what do? They reel you in for 30 seconds, and then they'll plug something for about a minute. Like, you know what else is cool? Check out these new headphones. It's got encryption data so people can't steal your information all over the internet. You're like, whoa, man. Like, I get it. You got a lot of money for that, but you were not doing this when I first subscribed to your channel. Right. But whatever. Live your lives. And with the new algorithm, I think that's good. I don't think a YouTube video any tutorial needs to be over 8 minutes, 8 or 9 minutes. So I'm going to try to focus on not having any more YouTube tutorials over 10 minutes. People, you know, if you Google how to tie your shoes and you see 4 of the videos show up, one of them's 25 minutes, one of them's 12 minutes, one of them's 8 minutes, one of them's 3 minutes. Which one do you think you're going to click on? Scott S. Well. If it isn't the old Hoppy Hour. Long time no see. What's going on, Scott S.? We got to do great show tonight. The Brew Show. Keep up the great work, Animated. The Bra Show was at Southo Brewing today. Shooting Maury, shooting Trev. I was there eating their donuts, hanging out. I was shooting the shit. And we're talking about making our Cinnamon Toast Crunch Stout beer, amongst other things. Kurt Pick. See you, Trent. Just like that, Trent shows up. Kurt's out. Oh, Brew Show's out of here? Later, Braj. Brew Show's driving to LA right now. Hey, get out of here. Fermentation Adventures. Just subscribe to Animated Homebrewing. Much love. Much love. Speaking of YouTube, do you get burned out? Are you burned out at all?
Sometimes.
Do you just think like what the hell am I doing?
It's just a lot of work, and then you're like, right when you launch it and you click submit or upload or whatever, and then you're like, okay, yeah, that's great. And then what do you do next? Oh, I guess you get started on the next one, and the next one, and the next one.
Yeah. Back in the day, you're like, this is it. I'm done. I was like, no, you got to wake up and start making more content. I mean, you got to be putting out content once a week. I love it. I love production. Filming it, audio, having Maury or Goman or anybody sound good, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. ZacharieMcCrary, CH, you've been killing it lately, man. I can't speak for the whole YouTube community, but your content has been awesome. Thank you, ZacharieMcCrary. We had a very great video that we did. It was a chili beer video, It bombed. It did not fit into anybody's algorithm, but I want to just give a shout out to anybody who watched it, especially apartment brewer Steve. He said he actually made it. I know that we don't get any love on our cooking videos, but I love the cooking videos. I love the cooking videos. Goose Fraba, question for, can we talk about your real name, or is that off limits?
Sure. No, my name's Matt.
Matt.
Call me animated or call me Matt. That's fine.
Animated Matt. Chalky White, just subscribe to Animated Matt's homebrew channel. Much love, Chalky White. Goose Fraba, how many characters did you go through before you decided on the one that you have?
I've got a few other characters. So
Like a Batman
this was
cape,
part of like
afro.
Yeah. Some like my original idea was like it'd be really fun if I had like a fermenter and the Brewzilla would talk to me and like have this sort of conversation, like have some other characters and sort of make it a social thing, so it's not just me talking to myself. So I've sort of added a little bit of that. I might do a bit other kind of similar things in the future. But yeah, I've had a few other characters. Basically, all my characters are the identical person. I just changed the hairstyle and T-shirt and whatever, and so it's. But yeah, I think there was one video that I released that has a few characters.
So are we? Sorry to interrupt. Keep going, Rush.
No, go ahead.
Are we still on for our collab? You're gonna turn me and Maury into a cartoon?
Yeah, that like it got sidetracked because I've been kind of busy the past few months. But that was like, yeah, I half animated you and Maury's head, and so it's basically just my head, but I just gave you a beard, and Maury I gave him sunglasses or something like that.
If I threw you a couple bucks, would the collab speed up? Or, I mean, there's no rush on my end. I've got a video coming out Tuesday, another food video coming out a couple days after that, and then we're doing a Cinnamon Toast Crunch beer. I have no idea how that's going to turn out, but I don't think we're going to fuck that one up. We shouldn't fuck that one up. But maybe we'll shoot for like January or something.
Yeah, I'll try and figure out what's my schedule, because I've got I've got a few other work things that I'm doing, and but yeah, I was gonna have you do a guest appearance on my show, or maybe I could create some animations that you could do a guest appearance on your show or whatever. But yeah, I remember I mentioned to you back in the summer that I would totally be up for that, and it's just sort of fell on the back burner.
We'll do some like Honey, I Shrunk the Kid shit where we get sucked into something. We come out, we're like, holy shit, we're a character. You're a cartoon. You're a cartoon too. Holy shit, what do we do now? I don't know. Beer chug.
The more when
there's nothing.
One of the problems with doing animation as my kind of special niche thing is that it's like there's unlimited possibilities. Like it's like, oh yeah, it'd be so great if we could. Like I could ride in on a dragon and like brew beer while riding a dragon or something. It's like
a lot of keyframing.
Dang. Yeah, that'll add an extra like 30 hours of animation work to figure out how to draw and animate a dragon and do all that stuff. So it's like, okay, maybe I need to taper that back. Like,
yeah.
What can I do to more streamline I need to be streamlining my production process, not elongating it.
Goose Fraba says just do the heads. We'll just do the heads. You know, like
just have a bunch of
like the Dog Father or West Side Connection. We just have three heads right there. And we're just talking to each other.
Like doing
sorry,
content like this where like you and I can just hang out and chat and produce an hour or 2 hours worth of content, and it's production ready, and like I don't need to edit it, I don't need to cut or whatever, and like this is the way to do it.
I saw a comment earlier, I think it was from Heather Sharp, and she was saying that this has motivated her to get back into animation. I know nothing about animation, but does it have something to do with keyframing, or is it more of like a drawing thing?
So I'm doing the cheater way. So whoever made that comment, this is like the cheap, quick, fast way to animate. And that's sort of like the best way for me. Like I'm not particularly good at art. It took me a long time to like draw a face that actually looks somewhat decent.
Yeah.
So this is like my ideal animation software in that it doesn't require much artistic skills.
Okay.
You draw your character once, and you draw the head and the arms and the legs and the different body positions and whatever, the different arm positions or whatever. and then you basically just go through a few like long hours of tagging everything and snapping everything and then recording all of the things. And then once you've got your puppet, with this character here is called a puppet. Once you got your puppet all rigged and set up, then ideally you're able to like churn out the content really quickly. And so it's obviously like 10 times faster than going and drawing frame by frame animation, but it's still like it's much longer than if I were to just do real life me talking and brewing and stuff like that.
Yeah, I do a little bit of keyframing on the channel. Keyframing is kind of the same thing what Matt just talked about, Matt animation. Yeah, every frame you have to move something and change it, and that's it. I don't know whether it's 60 frames
so the
or
cool
24 frames.
Yeah, the cool thing though is like I can record those sort of the keyframes. So like I can like my drinking animation, I just have to animate it once, and then every once I can just kind of reuse that over and over and over again. So that like saves me a bunch of time. And whenever I go and do my video, I've got a dozen or so different body movements, and I got the walking animation, so he can
you do the moonwalk, or can you do the robot? Yeah.
Yeah. So
hello,
he can
Mr. Roboto, Mr. Roboto. We got some people at work right now. There you go. That was a good move. That needs its own name or something, man.
That one's the drop in from the top, and like it's like whenever I
chicken.
cut to a new scene, I make him disappear, and then he drops in from.
It's called the
sky.
bar chicken. It's called the chicken bar. We got some people watching at work right now. Shout out to all you guys. Shout out to Rubio. He's at work. Somebody else is at work. That's pretty cool. Matt, the dotted line on the hand, are those knuckles? I don't know what he's talking about. Do
Yes,
the worm.
those are supposed to be knuckles.
Yeah, start crip walking. Do the sea walk, and then do the worm. Do the worm.
I can actually. I think. Hold on.
You've got it going. You've got the
go.
yeah. You got the moonwalking.
Moonwalking.
Yeah, you are. We're moonwalking as a cartoon on a beer live stream right now. If that's not cool,
It's the only way
then
to do it.
nothing's
That's the
cool.
only way to do
It's
it.
the only way to get down. You know what? I fucked up tonight. I should have had some Belgians. I might have a Belgian. I'll go into the fridge in the garage and see what's going on in there. ZacharieMcCrary, breakdance. Awesome attention to detail, man. Yeah, I hope you don't burn out on YouTube, because I really love your channel, but you have way more work to do than anybody.
I think the more I get practiced at it, and like I'm accumulating more and more work. Like every time I do a new one, I'm just like I add more animation movements and bodies, and like I've got all these kind of different hand things that I can cycle through of whatever he can hold. It's kind of like I could double fist the beers if I wanted. Like each time I do each video, I accumulate more animation assets, so I can
Dual wielding, it's double
theoretically
fisting.
make more beer videos faster the more I do it. So
Yeah, and like we were talking about earlier, the 4 seasons and stuff, if you could use the B-roll, I still shoot way too much when I don't have to, but you could use a lot of the old footage. And as long as like, hey, this is like the ingredients, and this is you got an umbrella, it's raining at the bar. And as long as you talk about like the beginning, the ingredients, and at the end, like it's fine. Like everyone, I've got a million shots of me dumping hops into a boil kettle. I've got a million shots of me cooling down the wort. I've got a million shots of me milling grain, and you don't have to do those. I used to do every shot of me racking into a corny keg, and we get it. Like everybody knows how to get your beer from a fermenter to a serving tank or a corny keg. But yeah, don't focus on that stuff. Focus on the animation, man. And people are going to dig your channel, bro. Because you do funny stuff. Like you'll be hanging out, and all of a sudden in your video, you like come down on an umbrella like Mary Poppins. Yeah. Yeah. Matthew Landis, I'm at work too. Still drinking. My man, my braj. Animated needs some animated NBC shirts. Yes, you do. Do you have merch?
So you sent me a merch shirt because I won a contest.
No, do you have
do
you have your own merch?
Oh yeah, I think I did. I launched a t-shirt show or a t-shirt site when I launched the channel. But I don't think I've really paid attention much to it. I designed the logo, or like I just copied and pasted my logo onto a t-shirt and put it on Teespring or whatever.
I think you're going to sell a ton of merch. I think you should promote it more. I know it sucks the soul out of me, but you have to do it. Or else no one's going to know about it.
All right, yeah, I've got a Teespring t-shirt show or a website just like everyone else on the homebrew community, and you can probably find it on Teespring.
Put it in.
I think it's called Spring now.
It's called Spring. Teespring to Spring. It's like beverages and more to Bevmo, but same shit. But yeah, I would love to rock one of your t-shirts. I need a Yeast and the Beast t-shirt. I've got Party Time Brewing, and the reason I bought 2 of Party Time's t-shirts is because he wears them in his videos. He's got decals up in the garage, and it's got good exposure. And I bought 2 because of that. That's how product placement or whatever works. We got to support us homebrewers. Done with my prep for the weekend, and it's dead. So sitting at the bar drinking with the boss, Chef Life, right on Matthew Landis. Come over and make a Homebrew for Life video with us, because I want to make a lot of cooking videos, and I want to take a ton of pride in not knowing how to cook any of it. And that was kind of in the beginning when we started this channel. Maury was kind of the beer guy, and now I want my buddy John Goldman to be the food guy, but I want to get food videos out there that I learned on the fly. Everyone thinks like we know what we're doing. Only one guy knew what he was doing. But everybody loves food. Speaking of t-shirts, can we get them down here to New Zealand? I don't know. I have no idea where Spring can ship or not ship to.
They ship to Canada, but they charge you an extra $5 or $10 or something to do cross-border. So it makes it slightly even worse of a price, even though it's so you buy it for the encouragement and for the support, and less so for a t-shirt.
The only rule on the show is to not talk about COVID, but does COVID still not, the only rule is not talking about COVID. Without talking about COVID, I don't care about anybody's political views or what their story is with COVID. Is it still a bitch to get into Canada, or is that chilled out by now?
It's less so.
Because I shipped you a shirt and it got to you like 60 days later or something.
Yeah, that was back in 2020, so it's a little bit easier now. Good. So, but how do you feel about COVID? I'm just kidding. Don't answer that. I'm kidding. How do I feel about COVID?
I'm kidding. Keep going. Okay, so it's mellower now. Who'd you vote for? Did you vote for Bush or? I'm kidding. Matthew Landis.
You might be surprised, CH, but the Canadians don't vote for American politicians.
Duly noted. They don't have the American citizenship.
But we did have an election. Canada had an election. We got Trudeau again in the fall.
I don't think anybody in the chat knows what that means, and I love that. I love not knowing about politicians. But we're done. First rule of Hoppy Hour: you have to fight a cartoon character. His name's Animation Matt. Second rule: you have to fight Animation Matt.
Yeah.
That's what we should do. We should create animations of me, you, and Maury beating the shit out of each other.
So one of the things I was thinking about is I could
smash IPA bros. Smash.
The one thing that I wanted to do was to get multiple people. Like I was wondering if we could do this one where you and I were both animated and like having a conversation. Mm-hmm. But I think it would require you guys to also buy the software and download it, and then like set it up doing the exact same. Like you would have to have the same setup on your end that I have on my end, with all the plugins and software to be able to live stream like this. So,
Super Smash Bros.
That's a future task.
Really quick, I'm into that as long as it's affordable. Theron is the barrage. He's a moderator in the chat. He's got the little wrench by him, and he just plugged your merch store. Let's check it out. Is it the little ice cream?
Hopefully let me see.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
Oh, yep. I want a red one. You know what your beer reminds me of? Your logo?
What?
The ice cream from DuckTales from NES. You remember the original DuckTales? We're the same age.
I was a Sega Genesis kid.
Oh, you would be that guy. Whack. Super whack.
My friend had an SNES, and so I had to go over to his house to play
Sega Genesis.
Whatever games he had.
Shit got really weird when they tried to put like Mortal Kombat on Sega Genesis with 3 buttons. The
Yeah.
3-button thing, man, it weirded me out. I got down with Toe Jam and Earl, but other than that, maybe some Sonic. Sega wasn't my vibe. But I like this red one right here. Can I make this blue? Yes, I can. You can put it on layaway, paying 4 payments at $6. I'm going to buy one right now. And it should come from... Let me buy one right now, and I'm going to put it... You know what? We're going to put this on browse. No, we're not. But I can do this through proceed to checkout. How many t-shirts have you sold? You don't have to answer that. But how many t-shirts have you sold?
I think 4.
All right, we're going to make it lucky number 5. We're going to go to, we do no rush delivery. Email address is invalid. I just want to go to PayPal. How many t-shirts can we sell tonight? I'm doing the Blue Royal XL. Shipping's not bad. $23.99, $4.49 for shipping, sales tax, $30. That is not bad to have a t-shirt shipped to your house.
I wonder if supply chain issues are going to be a thing.
Maybe
I've
I'm
heard
not.
like it's hard to get stuff these days.
Items in your cart are in high demand, but we have saved your order. Your order is reserved for 9 minutes and 14. I don't know what's going on, man. Let's go to PayPal buy now. I don't know why it still needs my... It should send me over to PayPal. You're just filtering out sales right now, Brush. Okay, let's go to... I want to do this right now because if I don't do it right now, I'm probably going to forget about it. So we're going to go to Casey Hardy 85 gmail.com. Nobody spam me. Anybody have any questions for your name must include first and last name?
So it looks like Heather and Tim Sharp went to school for animation back in 2008.
That's who it was. Yeah. Magnolia Avenue. Carlsbad. Dude, I don't know where my wallet is, man. I don't know why it's not letting me go through PayPal. That denies people a lot of sales.
Spring's dropping the ball here.
Now it's bringing me to PayPal. Yeah, we're good to go. All right, sir. T-shirt confirmation. Good to go, Brush.
Sweet deal.
Keep doing what you're doing, man. Matthew Landis, I have the Zelda, the Dare, and the sleeveless. Big shout out to Matthew Landis. That's like all the t-shirts that I have, man. Much love, man. I really appreciate that, man. All right. Thank you, Casey. That's my real name, Casey. Don't tell anybody. Your order has been placed. Your order number is yada, yada, yada. We will receive this December 6th. Perfect, man. Congratulations on 5 sales. And shout out to Theron.
There we go. Yeah,
there you go.
I'm in the money now. Big money.
Well, I mean, you got to push the merch, man. It's not like people want to support YouTubers. People don't want to support Instagrammers. Instagrammers get funny and they start trying to sell stuff. It's like, no, I don't care about your selfies. Get the fuck out of here.
I wonder what percentage of this is probably going to be a bigger deal more into the holiday season. Is like, have you noticed in the holiday season you get more merch sales than in the middle of the summer? Or
merch comes down to how obnoxiously you want to push it, and I'm pushing the merch. I push the merch like 1 in every 4 videos, without my soul just sucking out the 1 ounce of integrity I have left. But I'm putting it in the upcoming video, and it does work. And people do want to support. Like, I want to support your channel, and I do want to support YouTubers. But just the bummer about this community is that we think we do know each other because we have this bond of homebrewing, so it makes us feel like we're friends. And trying to sell stuff to your friends sucks. Selling stuff organically is awesome. But selling stuff to like people that you keep in touch with is cringe. But such is life. I'm gonna do I'm gonna show up to my buddy's brewery and try to sell my homebrew for life shit. I'm gonna sell my homebrew for life shit to all my friends at their own breweries, just to null the cringe. What do we got? Zelda is the best game in my opinion. I will play every one forever. Zach Pearson. Yeah, I'm kind of afraid to play Breath of the Wind because I heard it's a sesh, and I heard that it's better than Ocarina of Time, which I think is the best game of all time. Rubio, he looks more like Mega Man. You do look like Mega Man.
My character?
Yeah. Glow in the dark condoms. Kurt Pick. Party Time Brewing. One more subscriber. Animated Brew. Are my there you go. There he goes. He's stoked. Are my things working? Can you hear my my sound effects? Let me change them up really fast. Let me have it come through. You always have to change everything because I'm connected to a mixer, but everything comes through my speakers and it goes back and forth. Eric Lane in the house, man. Battery 245. We got a future brewery on our horizons. What's up, Eric Lane? We do not see John Tonimo in here, though. Haven't seen him tonight or last night. Good to see Eric Lane, though. He's the barrage. We've barraged down here. Breath of the Wind is badass, but takes forever. That's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of me just getting more distracted than I already should. Sunset Hound Brewing. I want to give a shout out to him. He bought a t-shirt on YouTube and he made a video about it. That was awesome. We're going to get him on too. Just sell your shirts like the flower ladies on a Friday night. Yeah, go into the Lucadian at 2 a.m., knock the egg roll lady to the side and start selling everybody Homebrew for Life t-shirts. And that way I could sell them for like $15. But I can't do them through Teespring for $15. Only video games.
One thing that I meant to do and I didn't do was actually to draw an NBC shirt on my character that I was gonna.
You blew it. You're fired.
Instead of just having a T-shirt like this, I was gonna digitally have a T-shirt.
Are my sound clips working?
I'm not hearing them.
We can't hear them on our end, but I don't know.
Okay.
There's so many things on Streamlabs. It's like this broadcasting software on the lowest denominator, and I don't know what scenes are set to what. I have like alert box, the chat box, 2 window captures, audio out, Logitech, which is my camera, sound clips, H6. We'll go to sound clips and we'll go to device and we'll go to, I don't want to touch anything. I'm going to screw it all up. We're just working with what we got. No sound clips. You know what? Then we are going to fuck with everything. I'm going to blow this. We're going to go to Stream Deck. And we're going to go to... Are you good on time, Animated?
Yeah, no, I've penciled off my evening for doing some drinking.
We got 20 more beers left in us. Let me go to Stream Deck. And it's not showing up. Here it is. We're going to go to Beer Open. And we're going to pull this through. I think we're good. Can you hear that?
Oh, no, I can't hear anything. But I guess we don't hear things.
Speakers. We're going to go to... Can we hear that? Yeah, Minnesota Fats. All right, I finally feel normal again. I was getting insecure over here. We're going to go to speakers. Oh, my God. Feels like the first time. I think we're good now. Yeah. Now it's a stream. Now we're cooking with green. Wow. All right, let's do it. Just Brewing. Jeffrey Murrow. Gurglin. Working now. Goose Frab is at work too. Right on Eric Lane. I heard it, CH. Wow. We are now cooking with grease. We have 60 people in here. That's awesome. Usually we don't have that many people in here on Thursday. So cheers to you guys. We'll do an NBC here in a second. Got it. Park. Scott R. For those who just showed up, this is Animated Matt, Animated Brewing. He's got a great YouTube channel where he is in cartoon form pretty much 95% of the time. Let me click off this. Mm-hmm. And we do have a link in the bio. We're trying to get him up to 700 subscribers tonight. What are we at, Matt? Well, NBC at 700. A real NBC. Like, I will chug it, and then I'll hit the button.
667.
667, the number of the barrage. We'll get there, and it will be, it's just on the internet. YouTube does a good job of just taking these and then turning it into an actual video overnight. So anybody who doesn't catch it tonight, it will be forever, eternally on the internet until the aliens come and bomb us all. And the last things left on planet Earth are cockroaches and cartoons. But I need a beer. Are you doing okay? Do you need a break? You got to go.
I need a refill of beer.
All right, go get one, and I'll hold down the fort.
I'll be back in
Number of the barrage.
30 seconds.
Jorge Castro, welcome to the party, man. Yeah, sorry we didn't have one on last Thursday. I don't know. And to be honest with you, I kind of feel guilty when I put these things on and I don't have a Homebrew for Life video that week. And we didn't have a Homebrew for Life video this week. But next year we're going to have, I think, our best video. I think it's our best beer we've done. 5-day hazy IPA. And Party Time Brewing will be on Wednesday night. And then next Thursday is Thanksgiving. So we're going to take that off. Everybody have a good time with your friends, your family, your loved ones. And we'll team up the following Wednesday and Thursday after that. Metal Memory, just subscribe. Didn't know his channel existed till now. That's why we're here. We're here to promote each other. Theron, much love, man. Good looking out, you Braj. Theron, I've got you in the next Instagram and Facebook video. He has an NBC t-shirt on, and he's chugging a beer. He's holding a beer up. It is a great picture. Thank you, Ryan Carter. I was wearing your t-shirt last night, man. He sent me a very beautiful t-shirt, a very beautiful turquoise sky blue t-shirt. Much love, Mr. Carter. And to answer the international questions on shipping, I do not know. I know Jorge Castro has a tough time getting stuff down there in Puerto Rico. I do not know the jurisdiction of Teespring or Spring. Sorry. He's back. You're going to try. Jorge, smoke one, man. Smoke one. There's nothing wrong with what you're looking at right now. There's nothing wrong. Everybody just has bad eyes. Ryan Carter, 39 subscribers ago to hit the 700 mark. And then Theron's got the link. 29 left. I'm going to get a beer. We're going to NBC it. And if anybody has any questions for Animated Brewer, now's your chance to not hear me talk.
Yeah, put them in the chat.
They're in the chat. I'm not going to put anybody else in the chat, but just answer questions.
Yeah, go ahead. It is unbelievably hard to try and talk and hotkey and do some writing in the chat, so bear with me, everybody.
All right.
I've got, you want me to drink? Here we go.
Sunset Hound, we got to get him on too.
Chug, chug, chug.
Check this out. You're going to see it in about 10 seconds, but this is Battle Mage's art. They've got really cool stuff. And I forgot I had one of these left. Divine Light with apricot. Very good. And they have an anniversary coming up. There's 3 anniversaries coming up. Or there's one grand opening and a couple anniversaries. And it's kind of a bummer when your buddies have they pick the same date, because it's cool because we can hit them all, like, you know, have a beer here, have a beer there, but that's kind of like their biggest sales day. And when you kind of compete with somebody, you're not competing, but it's just, there's so many breweries, it's inevitable that you are going to compete with somebody Saturday. That it's just kind of a bummer, because that's a big money day. It's a big brewery support day.
Is that for the South Ocean side thing?
South O is a grand opening, so it's bigger, and then Battle Mage is the one after that, and then Culver's is coming up too. And most breweries didn't have anniversaries last year because of COVID. So I'm going to try to hit them all, try to be on my best behavior, even though I'll probably not be, end up wrestling my dad in the parking lot. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I'm just on Instagram and Facebook. There's just a lot of stuff coming up. Just drink one more and smash the keyboard. We finally got these back. Much love to everybody who has subscribed to the channel. We will get over 700 by tomorrow morning. That's a promise. And the reason I can promise that, because I have 40 troll accounts they could all subscribe to as soon as we get off here. I'm kind of kidding. Don't worry about the written response. Just drink one more and smash the like button. Sunset Hound, the barrage. Drink. He's got my sub and views. Big shout out to Sunset, man. Big shout out to Sunset, Jorge,
Cheers.
Ryan Carter, and everybody else. I only get like 10 things of chat. I've kind of got a different question I want to know about Canada. I want to know about your sought after beers. Is it kind of like America where everyone's trying to track down the Pliny's and the Alchemists and stuff like that? Do you guys have your own, or are these same beers sought after in Canada as well?
It's different city by city, province by province. So
I mean,
just
do you
like,
guys know about like Pliny the Elder?
I know it's a big deal in the U.S. and I'm like just from like this chat and stuff like that. And I used to travel to the U.S. a bunch. I lived there for 3 years actually in Portland, Oregon.
Nice.
And so like yeah, but it's like city by city. There's in the past 20 years they've gone from each major city going from having 2 or 3 breweries to having like 20 or 30 breweries, and so yeah, it's pretty much the same in Canada. Like Vancouver has become a big craft brewery scene, as well as Toronto and other major cities. So
No, but I mean like trophy beers. Do you guys have like those sought after beers in Canada that have a lot of hype, that are very sought after, and people will go the extra mile to buy it, and limited availability, kind of like Pliny the Elder, Pliny the Younger,
yeah,
more accessible?
yeah, and I'm not. That's a good question. 'Cause, yeah, I know that there's like the Goose Island bourbon barrel aged. What's that one? That's like the super rare one.
Firestone?
Something like that. Doesn't Goose Island have a specialty limited edition one that they dip the head in wax or something like that?
That's a lot of them, but if it's the same Goose Island that we're talking about that Budweiser owns, then I would not know, because I would not
Okay.
have interest
Yeah,
in that,
like
let alone spend
Pliny
my money on
and
it.
Youngling. I'm not sure if there's an
Yuengling?
equivalent in Canada, but there's one of the ones that I am particularly fond of, but I'm not. You probably have seen it. It's Unibrew. It's outside of Montreal.
No.
They do The End of the World, La Fin du Monde.
Never heard of it.
A
but now-
Belgian.
but
It's
now,
okay. Put it on your list. It's a French or like French Canadian brewery outside of Montreal called Unibrew, and they kind of have like unique
Unibrow?
art. Unibrew, Unibrou.
Unibrew.
That's a Belgian Canadian style brewery.
Okay, Unibrew.
And they make really good Belgian beers. If you like the stronger stuff, their triple is amazing. It's called La Fin du Monde, The End of the World. And they've been around, like they're one of the OGs of craft beer. Like they've been around for decades before the more recent explosion. So that one's really good. But if you're not really into strong Belgian beers, I would go with they've got a lighter one, like a blonde ale called Blanche de Chambly, and that's a really good one. So yeah, that's one of my favorite ones. I think Party Time Brewing just posted that Flora Brewing did a harvesting video on the La Fin du Monde.
You're actually getting a
she-
lot of love of what you're talking about. People know what you're talking about. Jorge
Yeah, so
Castro, John Amon says it's very accessible as well.
Yep. So I'd say I'm trying to think of other Canadian ones that would be like it's a Canadian beer that reliably
Jorge's on it.
it's not as rare as Pliny. Like Pliny is in the Youngling or whatever. It's just it's in high demand, and it's like hard to get, and so it's valuable because it's rare. Whereas I think Unibrew are a fairly big operation, and so they do. Pretty much every major Canadian city that I go to, I can reasonably expect to find some La Fin du Monde or End of the World beer.
That's why
So
we're here.
Talk
Talk about stuff like this.
So yeah, I would recommend that. They've kind of got cool looking bottles, and I think Unibrew also does like a mixer pack, so they've got Belgian singles, doubles, triples, stuff like that. Actually, there's one of the videos that I'm hoping to do for a future video is every winter. I think it's Y yeast. Is that how you say?
Yeah.
Y yeast. They make a beer or a yeast for Belgian triples.
Wow.
And it's a Canadian Belgian strain from Unibrew. So
I have
it's
no
like
idea
this-
what that means. Canadian Belgian strain.
So there's a dozen or so Belgian strains of yeast or whatever, and the one that is sourced from this Canadian brewery has a specific genetic difference or whatever to make it. There's some genetic difference that makes it a unique strain of yeast that you can identify and say, okay, yeah, that's a unique Belgian strain or whatever. And it's a limited edition yeast that Yeast only, I don't know, releases every few.
This is still tripping me out.
Maybe they do it every year. I don't know. I haven't been able to get it for at least 2 years. So it's for making Belgian beers, but it's unique. It's not a Belgian, like it's a Unibrew sourced their yeast from Belgium, but they've been brewing with it for so long that it evolved or whatever and created its own characteristics. So it's like it's a unique strain now. So you can, it's kind of hard to find, and it's like a unique yeast strain making triples. But
I'm writing it down. I mean, the whole time I'm trying to understand beer in Canada, but I'm thinking in my head, do you have to hit a button every time the mouth opens on your cartoon character?
No, it's supposed to be automatic.
It senses audio and then it'll just start moving and blinking.
I'm not sure if it's tracking my microphone or if I think it might also be tracking my face, because sometimes like when I open my mouth to have a sip of beer, it looks like I'm speaking, right?
Yeah. Is it Belgian Canadian or Canadian Belgian yeast?
One of those. Hey, let me look it up. It's
same different.
Why yeast Canadian Belgian.
I'm gonna get this Belgian thing down. Banana runs Belgian.
Y yeast strain 3864 PC. It's a limited edition or
Sounds like my parole number.
limited release or whatever.
3864.
Belgian ale.
Got it. Duly noted.
I'm pretty like they don't officially say it
Todd
on
Jackson.
on the Y Yeast website, but I'm like 99% certain it's from Unibrew. Like it has to be.
Unibrow Brew. Much love. Quick shout out to Todd Jackson. He's the barrage from Northern Brewer. We're putting together a cinnamon toast beer. I talked to Maury today. We're going to do it with lactose. I know that I psyched myself out from lactose after having a bad experience. But that beer that I had the other night from Absolution, the juicy something. I used to have the can here. This was a damn good beer. I guess I threw it away. But we're going to do the lactose beer. I'm really looking forward to the Cinnamon Toast Crunch Stout. And I think it's going to be a hit this time of the year because it is stout season. Good to see you here, Todd Jackson. And again, we got 63 people here. We're trying our best to get Animated Homebrewing, up to 700 subscribers tonight. And I think we're pretty close because we started at 642. Jackie Robinson, always remember that number. And we're at what? About 670, 675? Doing the moonwalk back there. What does it look like if you whistle Animated Homebrew from John Aman out there in Michigan?
What does it look like if I go?
Because you are, yeah, it's working. Yeah, it works. I don't know.
It's hard. Yeah, it's almost like the microphone is a bit too sensitive. So like if I wanted to maintain a certain mouth position, I'd have to say like, ooh.
I'm going to download the software and I'm going to do a stream and it's going to be me as you or me as me. White guy, beard, backwards hat. We're everywhere. But I want that animation for a stream.
It's pretty funny.
It's hilarious. You are in your own niche of YouTube alone, brewing or not. You should do makeup tutorials as an animated cartoon.
Yeah, there's so many things I could do.
You could do a lot of stuff. CrossFit, just this guy hitting the space bar every time, going up and down. And one, and two, and one. Party Time Brewing, he'll be at 700 in the residual views after the show finishes. Month and a half until 1K. Party's on your side, man. I want to get Party up there too. John Reese, 21 subscribers ago. Brian Toms, there's a local brewery that got smashed by a hurricane. I don't know what it's called, Animated Brewing Company, and they make really good stuff. You know what I need to do for Homebrew for Life? We need to do a fundraiser. We need to raise money for something like that because I think that we could raise a lot of money. Steve's got his stuff. He's got his Last donation I gave was apartment brewer, wounded veterans or something like that. But I would be super happy to do something like that. If any brewery or home brewer is ever in a bind or something, we could probably piece some coin together, because I know that the what's it called? The GoFundMe's and stuff work out very well, especially when they're local. The more local stuff, the more, or maybe not, maybe if they're global, but I know that they work, and we haven't done like a real one on our channel yet. Anywho, Tom Alvarado's here. Party Time wants to do a 24-hour stream. Party Time, we're going to do a 24-hour stream on Wednesday. That's going to go into everybody's Thanksgiving. That's how we're going to do it. That's how we're going to start that. Tom Alvarado, what's up, guys? What did I miss? Need a full recap stat. We are on LSD, and we're hanging out with a cartoon, and everything is normal. Everything's just fine. Just take a couple of deep breaths, and don't fight it. Just go with it. It's
You know
Maury.
how in South Park,
It's
all
Maury,
the
bottom left.
Canadian characters
Honey,
have
I
their
Shrunk
heads
the
that
cartoon.
go pop, 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 like they have their
Like
the
the
2D
babies,
head characters.
Yeah. Todd Jackson, there's a cartoon. Everything is normal. Nothing's wrong. If something's wrong, you got to get your eyes fixed. The TV is not broken. Your eyes are. I'll be smoking a turkey and drinking beer anyway. Minnesota Fats. That's funny you said that, because we do have a Homebrew for Life turkey smoked. What did we do? Trash can turkey video. We smoked a turkey in a trash can. And where'd he go? What happened to him? Anyway, the video bombed. All our food videos bombed. But what happened to you?
I'm here.
Wow.
Paying your bills? Barbecue Larry is in the house. NBC time. What is going on, Larry? I want to give a big shout out to Larry. He's the brat. Here, he's back. Larry, get your Panama Red going, man. Your White Widow. Larry is alive and well. Let me know, CH. I am sure Yeast and myself got a few veteran run breweries we can get a hold of. Yeah, that'd be rad. That'd be super rad. Tom Mellon just donated $10. Cheers to Animated Braj Trippy Thursday. I will buy another t-shirt now. You know what? We are at 70 viewers. That's pretty crazy. So much love to everybody who is here. Cheers to all you guys. I'm enjoying the Battle Mage beer. Let us know. There he's doing. He's dancing. It's raining men. Stoked that Larry's here. I got to get Larry on after Thanksgiving. The schedule's wide open. Love to have Jorge back on. We recycle. We kind of circulate 10 or 12 of us or anybody new. Love to have Dan Johnson. This is amazing. Love to have Sunset back on, get his channel going a little bit. We know that when you're starting out on YouTube, especially in the smallest community in the world, like we talked about earlier, there's more bowlers than us. There's more yo-yo players than us. I don't know if yo-yo players is called player, but we're small. And it makes us close, and we know where we are in the world, and it's cool. So I'd love to get Sunset on, maybe get him some subscribers, and keep him a little bit motivated to keep making beer at home. The Mildly Cool Dad. Any ideas for a festive apple cider? Maury and I actually talked about that today, making a hoppy cider. And I don't know. I'm just at this point out of ideas, and I was going to steal Trent's because he already made the video. I'll probably steal the whole recipe. Tom Manning, Larry, we have cartoons and beer. Can't get any better than that. Exactly. Cartoons and beer. IPA.
Wow.
I got another question for you.
Done.
Belgian beer. Are they more popular in Canada?
Question. I don't know. Not necessarily.
No, same.
It's like, I'd say you, yeah, like at the beer store, probably, like it looks the same pretty much as, except in Canada, you can't get beer at the grocery store. To go to or at least in BC, that's the case. Got to go to a liquor store. There's a good third is macro brews, Budweiser kind of stuff, and then you got sort of like the in-between craft breweries that have been bought out by macro breweries that are somewhat in between, and then you've got a large and growing section of really cool, interesting craft beer. And I'd say I've noticed more Belgian styles, like Belgian style beers, saison, or like Belgian table beers, and saisons are not quite Belgian, but sort of in the same family, I guess. But yeah.
What's the homebrew store scene like in Canada, in Vancouver? He's on the West Coast. He's on he's on the non-French side, right? People speak French on the east side.
Everyone has some French in their education in Canada. Let's put it that way.
Do you speak fluent French?
I do, yeah.
All right. Lived in Portland, brews beer up in Vancouver, and he's bilingual. Sorry, back to my ADHD. What's the homebrew scene like up there? The homebrew store, local homebrew store?
It's good. Like there's 2 or 3 stores that I have access to in like the Vancouver area. And there's like a couple good online homebrew stores. Like, because I can't really order from a lot of the American ones, or I guess you can, but it's not. I don't know. It takes extra long, but there's a couple online stores that you can order from. Ontario Brew Kegs and Toronto Brewing are a couple that I've bought from.
So your online stores are all in Canada?
There's 2 or 3, yeah, in Ontario.
What about Amazon or Northern Brewers? Sorry, Todd, not to put you guys, or Midwest Supplies or the bigger American ones. More beer.
Yeah, I don't think I can get more beer.
Northern Brewer. We talked about this a little bit on the Todd stream.
They ship into Canada?
I
don't know. Whenever I search for stuff, there's
Todd's gonna have a better answer than I am.
Because usually, whatever if you order something from the U.S., then you pay in U.S. dollars. Plus, there's shipping and handling. Cross-border stuff means it costs extra more. So usually, you just buy from the Canadian homebrew stores.
Kind of like what we talked about earlier. The first rule of Homebrew for Life is don't talk about COVID unless we're talking about shipping. And since it's mellowed out a little bit more, does that make it easier than it was in 2020 to get stuff from online stores in America? Or is it still the same?
It's probably the same. Like, one of the things that I did in 2020 was built myself a Keyser.
Okay.
I had to wait
Roger.
4 weeks for the freezer unit. Like, I went to the store and like looked around and measured them and stuff, and was like, yeah, I'll take that one. And the guy said, that'll be like, we'll get it to you in 4 weeks because of COVID travel delays and stuff like that. So
it's brutal, man. I remember you were the last guy I shipped shirts to up in Canada, and I remember talking to Party Time before I knew it was Party Time. Before he had Party Time, it was James Marshall started name drop. But he was like, yeah, leave it at my buddy's house in upstate New York or Maine or something, and I could pick it up. But I remember shipping you 2 T-shirts, and I think it was $30 in shipping.
Yep.
And it just didn't work out. Like, when the shipping costs more than the product, I'm not going to do this. And you're the last guy that I'm ever going to ship a T-shirt to. Like, we used to do trivia, and I used to give away a bunch of T-shirts. And when the guy would win, he'd be like, yeah, I'm from Winnipeg. I was like, fuck. Here we go. Yeah, $28 for something.
No Canadians, no Mexicans.
There's your American privilege. I think it's cheaper to ship to Mexico. I'm probably wrong. Yeah. I would think it'd be cheaper to ship to Canada. But after you, I made it a hard no. I was like, I'm shipping to. And I guess, how does it work with Hawaii and Alaska? Does it have to be continuous? Or
I used to have, or a buddy of mine used to live in Hawaii, and
because that sounds like the worst.
It's the worst. Hawaiian, Amazon, whenever you find something and then you check out and you set your address to Hawaii, it'll say, I'm sorry, we don't ship there. And you're like, oh, too bad.
That's what they call it, like the top 48, right? Or the lower 48. Yeah. Yeah, that's weird with just everything. eBay and Amazon, and I guess the eBay, because I used to buy and sell a lot of video games. The customer pays for shipping or the buyer pays for shipping? The customer pays for shipping. You set the price as the seller, and the buy. No, because a lot of times there's free shipping. The moral of the story is do not live in Alaska or Hawaii. No, I'm kidding. Sort of. Later, Goose Fraba. He's out of here. Austin, what's up, Raj? Chilling, man. We're out here with Matt, Animated Brew Co., Animated Homebrewing. We've got a link to his bio. We're trying to get him up to 700 subscribers tonight. He's got a good channel. He focuses on the Trappist stuff, which is he gave me a great education on this stuff. It's from the Catholic Church, the nonprofit stuff from 500 to 1500 years ago. And
I was thinking one of them I was sort of reading up on it.
The key to life is don't live where Brian Elementary Brew Co. lives.
One of the older Trappist ones is like they've been brewing for 1,000 years. I think it was Rochefort. There was like like in the year 1080 or something like that. They had their first there's documentation going back brewing back then, and they've every time that there's a war and their monastery gets burned down or whatever. So it's fascinating reading about all these breweries.
What country are we talking about? We talk a lot about the monasteries, but I would imagine it's Italy, or is it Germany?
Six of them are in Belgium, a couple in the Netherlands, and then there's one in France, Italy, Germany, Spain, the UK, and there's actually one in the US too.
Do you know anything about how? Speaking of Catholic Church and monasteries, there was a time when they had all of the hops. Anybody know this story? That's because Gruit became a thing, because the Catholic Church used to be like the end-all be-all control power of the world, had all of the monopoly on all of the hops that came from, I'd imagine, Western Europe. So that's where Gruit kind of became a thing. So they were brewing with bush leaves and stuff like that. I don't know. Maury told me that, but it was in the parking lot at 4 a.m.
Yeah, I don't recall hearing about that, but I was.
Does anybody know about the Catholic Church used to have a monopoly on all the hops? I gotta get my Catholic tattoo removed after that. No, I'm kidding. There's a bar in Belgium that has a crap ton of Trappist beers. Yeah, we're learning a lot about Trappist beers tonight. We're learning a lot about the history of Trappist beers tonight. I got a browse button, but I lose you on that if I have a browser pulled up. But we could talk about the Jamie Joe Rogan thing. I think the Catholic Church had like a monopoly on hops. I'm going to Google this. Someone's doing this shit. Catholic back in
reading how a lot of the beer styles were shaped by
Catholic
taxes.
Catholic Church. I'm talking back in like the Castlevania days. Simon Belmont, Transylvania, Count Dracula. Catholic Church, hops, monopoly, rights. Martin Luther. I do know what I'm talking about. Yeah, had a strange hold on the beer production. And dude, I know what I'm talking about sometimes. On NPR. Is that a reliable source? What's NPR? National Public Radio. On this day, 500 years ago, an obscure Saxon munch launched a protest movement against the Catholic Church that would transform Europe. Martin Luther's Protestant Reformation changed not only the way Europeans lived, fought, worshipped, worked, and created art, but also how they ate and drank. Here we are 500 years later, eating good and drinking good. For among the things that impacted was a drink beloved throughout the world, and especially in Luther's native Germany, beer. Okay, I'm putting this in the chat. I'm telling you guys, man, I'm not full of shit all the time. Click on that. We could all read this later, but Maury did tell me about this. Yes, this is exactly what I just said. In the 16th century, the Catholic Church had a stranglehold on beer production since it held the monopoly on gruits. Okay, I had it backwards. I thought they had the monopoly on hops. The mixture of herbs and botanicals, sweet gale, mugwort, yarrow, ground ivy, heather, rosemary, juniper berries, ginger, and cinnamon. Dude, we need to bring gruit back. Gruit is the next trend. I'm making gruit. First person who gets gruit in a bottle or on draft somewhere wins at life. used to preserve and flavor beer. Hops, however, were not taxed. Considered undesirable weeds, they grew plentifully and vigorously. Their invasive nature captured by their melodic Latin name, Humulus lupulus. We talked about that last night with Jorge Castro. That's pretty much what it's called in Spanish. Humulus lupulus. It's come a full circle, Jorge. You got to read this article with me, man. Which the music-loving Luther would have loved, which means climbing wolf. What? Humulus lupulus stems from climbing wolf. We're going to skip that part. The church did not like hops. The beer critic for Wall Street Journal. We could all read this later, but I knew that. I knew that the Catholic Church had something to do with something that created beer or grew it to be more or less popular. If you were a Protestant brewer...
It's also taxation, I think, is what I was reading about.
This is like Braveheart Part 2.
Yeah. Depending on what they tax is like the alcohol level or the mash tun size or like however they levy the tax would change the way that they would brew. And so they would either make stronger beer or weaker beer because it'd be like, oh, okay, the tax is based on your mash tun size or something. And so you'd have to make stronger beer to maximize the small mash tun that you wanted to brew on.
Well, you got to realize at the end of the day, it's a resource. It's a cash crop, you know, like now kind of how the politicians in the States are fighting over the legalization of marijuana or drugs. Like this beer was doing the same thing 500 years ago. Even before the Reformation, German princes had been moving towards hops. In 1516, a Bavarian law mandated that beer could be only made with hops, water, and barley, hensing the term beer, kind of what you talked about earlier, to call it Trappist, to call it champagne. It has to have these certain things by law. And if it doesn't have that, it's called gruit. And by just thinking of that, gruit was probably the poor man's beer. Am I right or am I right? Am I right? Am I right?
Sounds about right.
The fact that hops were tax-free constituted only the part of draw. Hops had other qualities that appealed to the new movement, chiefly their excellent preservative qualities. We know that, hence the IPA. All herbs and spices have preservative qualities. That's how we used to keep shit cold before refrigerators or salt. But with hops, beer could travel really well. We knew that, so it became a unit of international trade that symbolized the growing business class, which was tangentially connected with the Protestant work ethic and capitalism. Then comes England. England used to run the show. All of a sudden, I get it now. I understand how history got played out. Back when England, you know, when the English Empire never set. What do they say? Something never rose.
Sun never set on the English Empire?
Yeah, because they had
British Empire?
Yeah. So they take over. They've got the power, and now they have the beer and all the resources to beer. But this is what happened before that. Another virtue of hops was their sedative properties. The mystic Hildegard was right saying in hops weighed down one's inners. All right, we got a super chat. Fermentation Adventures has just donated $10. Cheers. Does anybody know the sound of that? Some of the laws were to protect the customer from getting beer made with cheap substitutes ingredients. I want to read a book about beer. I want to read a history. I don't care about the style. Well, I do care about it, but I want to know the history and the laws and who had the power, who had the hops. Water was probably always there. Fermentable sugars were probably always there. But it seems like hops, yeast is in the air, but hops were the name of the game.
I know the German law, and I always have trouble pronouncing it, the Reichstagen,
The Reichsway?
whatever.
Yeah. Yep. Later fermentation. Much love, Braj. Thanks for the super chat.
That law made that like German beer was much more healthier and like reliable because it was
paper cut,
not being cut with other things, but then it also sort of limited creativity. So their brewing traditions would add spices and different kind of other fruits and whatever, and so you'd have more range of creativity, but it also meant that more risk for consumers or whatever back 500 years ago when it was people would die from diarrhea or whatever.
Malaria. Back in the day when mosquitoes used to kill more people than the average thing. Minnesota Fats, his comment stood out. Drinking improves my thinking. It does. Same with me too. But there's a fruit-like circle to it. It gets like drunken chef, drinking 2 beers while cooking. Sometimes if you smoke a little bit of weed or if you have a couple beers, the jokes come or something stands out and I want to put it in a video, but then you hit 4 or 5 beers and you're like, fuck, bedtime, you know? So I get that. Sometimes I go out and I see people at bars reading books or studying. I can't do it on that level, but sometimes I think of things when I'm stoned or if I'm drinking that I wouldn't have thought about when I was sober, and I use those. And I don't know. I die a little every morning, Chris Vodka. Same. I die a little every morning, IPA. Guardians of the Galaxy. Sounds like a good name for a hop. Too bad it's already a movie. Yeah, Paper Cup. Big shout out to Ray out there in Los Angeles. Dude is a cartoon, drinking a beer. That's exactly right. That's what's going on right now. Matt Landis, I got to pace myself while I cook. Not that I make bad food. I forget to write down how I got there. I'll say it before and I'll say it again. You're not going to make better beer from being drunk or buzzed, but no brewing in the house. You just drink after. If you're doing something physical like Matt Landis, aside from cooking, because there's a little bit of creativity involved if you're an actual chef, but drinking beer on brew day has never helped the beer taste better. You think it does, but it doesn't. Sorry, Sacramento. Sorry, man. NBC in honor of Groot. Good to see Arno here. Good to see Gnome Brewing in the house. We missed him last night. What's up, you brunch? This is, Gnome probably knows Animated Homebrew. But are you good on time? Are you Gruit on time? Can we do one more?
Yeah.
2 more?
Yeah, we do an NBC and go refill our glasses.
Let's do an NBC this water really fast. Big shout out to a portly gentleman who is going through a transition. He's moving from LA to Santa Rosa. I miss his channel. I hope he comes back. Good thing about YouTube is that it's always there. Sometimes you just need to take some time off. Maybe it's a week, maybe it's a month, maybe it's 6 months, which I have done. And I talked to Trent today, and he was saying that he took a week off homebrewing. I'm sorry, he took a week off YouTubing, and he felt way better. He just got a breath of fresh air, and it's healthy. It's healthy. Elementary Brew Co. has donated $10. Beer is good for you. Yes, it is. Big shout out to Brian. I'd love to get Brian back on here and talk about his workflow with editing and stuff like that, because it takes a toll. He's got a real job and a real family too. He's an elementary school teacher with a family. I have none of that. Arno, what is the NBC anime? I don't have a family or a job. I mean, I have a family, but I don't have like kids or anything. Drinking is bad on brew day. It's having more than one person with you while you brew. I miss so much when there's too many people over. Somebody brought up a good point on one of the videos the other day. It's like when you're new to brewing, you're just like, party. How do we make 10% beers? And then the veteran homebrewer is like, how do we make 4% hazy IPAs? You know, there's just this run and gun attitude when you first start. And it's not going to make you, it's not going to be better. The beer's not going to be better if you're boozing all day. Coach chillin'.
10% beer?
What's up?
You done a 10% beer?
That's a good question.
What's the highest alcohol beer you've ever brewed?
Damn. I think me and Battlemage Chris tried to do like 25%, but that was at his house. It wasn't. Yeah. And then I've done mead twice, and it's dangerous for a person like me with a 5-gallon batch, because it goes down like melted Slurpee, pineapple melted Slurpee. And, wine, you sip it, but mead comes out of the same thing beer comes out of. So you have that rhythm of like chug, 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 go, go, go. And those were some hangovers. There's no doubt about that. No NBCs on Brew Day. Tom Alvarado has super chatted $9.99. Much love, man. Big shout out to Tom. I look forward to meeting you at on December 4th, man. And I know you come down to Culver and we cross paths. We'll definitely cross paths this time because I'll be there all day. I will be there all day. I think it's going to be Trevor and Maury pouring beers. I might help out. I don't know if Trevor wants that relationship with me, or they might have staff by them. But I can't wait. I can't fucking wait for that day. I cannot wait for December 4th. Because I want my friend Trevor to actually sleep for more than 2 hours a night. Here, it's NBC. Shout out to Portland, man. All right. What time do you have to get up in the morning? 12:04. Roger.
For the NBC again?
We're going to NBC. To answer your question, probably a 10% beer. And I brewed a 5-gallon batch, and I learned fast that like that's just stupid. Because either I got way too drunk or it sat forever. But yeah, Kurt picked 7%. They kicked my ass after that. You know, and the older I get, I want to be a quantity guy. I'm not saying quality over quantity. I just want to be quantity. I don't want to have 3 beers and be like, dude, I have to leave my car here. I want to think that I had 3 beers and I did the right thing and I stopped drinking and I can drive my car home. But if you're drinking 10% beers, you're not going to drive your car home. Or you are, but you're going to be fucked up.
It also takes longer to drink it. Like I've got limited keg space and limited bottle space, and so I feel like I brew something that's 10%. I'm not gonna drink 2 or 3 in a night. Like that'll just kill me.
Yeah, and
So it's like it occupies valuable keg real estate that it'll take so much longer to drink my way through that it sort of robs me of being able to like experiment with more batches. So I don't know.
And it's kind of a right place, right time thing. Like if I'm in Tahoe or Mammoth or something and we're out there for a couple beers, I will get West Coast and double IPAs or a stout. But if we're going to be, and I know we're going to be drinking for 3 or 4 hours, that's kind of gnarly at my age. When you guys get to my age, man, Jorge, when you get to my age, man, you know, when I was your age, I used to walk to school barefoot, up hills both ways, man. Shit was crazy. 10% IPA sat in my kegerator forever. Yeah, that's a lot of 5-gallon double IPA, triple IPA. Where does triple come in at? 10%?
Triple doesn't actually refer to the alcohol percentage.
It does for
more
me.
Like, it's like the strengths, but like triples you'll find like 7-something% up to 9-something%, I think, generally speaking. I think, yeah. Generally, to me, triples come in at like 9% is what I expect. And quadruples are like 10 or 11%.
That's dangerous waters. I always thought from the West Coast IPA, anything over 8.0 was a double, and if anything over 10.0 was a triple.
That like what would be like barley wine,
Dangerous
Belgian
waters.
quadruples, and like imperial stouts are
Barley,
the strongest beers, right?
barley wine's a gnarly beverage. Austin, what's the next video topic? CH, we've got a 5-day hazy coming out. I think it's the best we've ever done, and I'm gonna redo beer can chicken. It's a good recipe that we can all do. I ran a little bit by Goman. There's a couple ways you can screw it up, kind of. You don't want to pad dry. You do want to pad dry it. You don't want to rinse it with water. You definitely want to use. I wouldn't use oil to coat it. I would use like maybe a butter, maybe hit it with some lemon zest, and then pretty much hit it with Cajun style. The seasoning's kind of up to you, but you can make a really good beer can chicken for in about an hour for about $10. I'm gonna make that video. It's gonna be good, and we're gonna have a really good time with it. That's gonna be me and Goman. All right, Elementary, thank you for being here this long. We're coming up on 2 hours. We've still got 60 people here. Should we keep going?
Do it.
Going? All right. How'd you get another beer? Or how'd you get a different beer style?
Just cycling through the different heights of beer. That's one of the things I was trying to do, but then I ran out of time today. It was like, oh man, it'd be really fun if I could change the beer styles, but I've only got.
I just saw you do it.
I've just got this blonde ale here. That's all I got.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, Mentor Beer Check.
I know what we have to do.
What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What?
Just say it! M. Say it. B. No. Say when.
C.
All right, I got to get another beer. We lost you again. Animated. Ryan Carter, 15 subscribers to the 700 mark. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, I heard the toilet flush. He's throwing up. He's calling dinosaurs. No, I'm holding down. Patriots. I think the Patriots are back. I think they finally figured it out. All right, hold it down, Brush.
Sure. Patriots are playing? You see. Patriots. Oh, yeah, they are. Falcons.
All right, I didn't have a Belgian in my main fridge, but we're chilling. Todd Jackson, still here, man. I love it. Who's here? Who's not here? We lost your audio, bro.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay.
How was your pee?
We're leaving.
Yeah, that's how it works. I know. What's better, the beer or the beer pee? Barley wine is life. Mark Serenana. Selling Buicks. I got one beer left. Early morning tomorrow. Sunset Hound, man. We got to get you on, Braj. We got to get you on, you brunch. Pat's looking good. I think the Pats are back. I think that, people were trying to figure out who had the talent. Was it Brady or was it Belichick? I think that.
Who do they have as quarterback now?
I think it's Cam Newton.
He's gone.
Yeah, you're right. He is gone. I don't know, but I think they're back and they're probably going to make the playoffs. And that would be crazy if the Patriots and the Buccaneers, who I hate because they got me kicked out of Survivor last weekend, my own league. I'm not even in a league and I got to pay some shit at $1,500. I think it's going to be my dad. But if the Patriots and the Buccaneers go to the Super Bowl, that'll be like Mighty Ducks all over again. When Adam Banks leaves his team, he's like the Tom Brady, goes and plays for Coach Bombay, and then he plays his old team in the finals. It's like coach versus best player. Mighty Ducks, man. History repeats. Arno, just half the whole cone IPA I recently brewed. Tastes like straight earth. I love that. I like that a lot. Party time brewing. I got well over 6 hours until I need to leave for work. Let's do this. One more 5 beers. I've got beers. You never got to worry about me not having beers. Even when I say I don't have beers, I'm lying. Delonius, what's up, you Braj? What's going on, man? Let's talk more about Belgian history or just beer history in general. Okay. Sure. I don't know anything about history. The Mighty Ducks. That's a beer name, bro. Coach Bombay IPA. Quack, quack, Mr. Duckworth. Guy gets a DUI and has to do community service by teaching youth hockey. Falls in love with these kids. takes them to like the state championship. Best plot storyline ever, man.
It's a great life lesson.
Yeah, Amelia. Yeah, couldn't do that anymore. You'd have to take the DUI part out. Hey, CH, I'm not sure if you ever play board games, but I would 100% watch a video of you playing Drunk Quest. I do not know what that is, but I'm super down. Another pick 6 from the Patriots. I think the Patriots smoked last Sunday. One TV was on my Buccaneers getting rocked, and then on the right was the Patriots beating the shit out of Johnny Manziel. Who's the new one? Baker Mayfield? Lunar eclipse from Utelis recently. I'm having one right now. Big shout out to Todd Jackson. Here. I got to get the Dilly Dilly sound clip. Who's the best team?
Are you a Chargers fan by default, or is that that a taboo topic now that they're not?
You can't. Here's my take on sports teams. Here's my take on sports teams breaking your heart. If you were a fan to begin with, it's in your blood. And if you decide that you hate that team now, I think that you were never really a fan to begin with, because I don't care as much now when the Chargers lose. Like, it used to fuck me up. So I was fucked up a lot. But you can't get it out. Like, my dad took me to season tickets when I was 5 years old. Like, we waited outside in lines to meet everybody. Ronnie Harmon, Stan Humphries, Junior Seau, I met on a numerous amount of times. Leslie O'Neal, who's the white dude? John Perella, who ended up got traded to the Raiders, and it broke my heart. But it was just a lot of bond of me and my dad growing up. Like, when he used to explain to me, like, oh, that's the Steelers playing the Cowboys, I'd be like, oh, like Steelers? Like, they're bad guys? They steal from people? He's like, no, like steal. Like building buildings and skyscrapers and stuff like that. It's like, oh. You're just like a little kid trying to hang out with his dad, like watching Monday Night Football. So, yeah, like I was there for the 1-15 season. Ryan Leaf, the Super Bowl '94. I remember when the Seahawks were in the AFC West. Not that I don't know if that rings a bell with you. But football's got morale. Like, football has serious morale, way more than any other sport. Football has, like, production is up when the Chargers win. Everyone's in a bad mood when the Chargers lose. And that's San Diego, a shitty sports team. I couldn't imagine when it's like in Chicago or Detroit, where there's nothing going on except sports. I don't know. What's your take on sports? Are you a big hockey guy, or is that a stereotype for all Canadians? Because I wanted
that
to.
That is a stereotype, but it's true.
Good.
So it's a true stereotype.
All right. So who's your heartbreaker? Who's your home team?
Well, it's Vancouver Canucks.
I'm an idiot. Okay.
But, there used to be an NBA team in Vancouver, the Vancouver Grizzlies.
Yeah, with Big Country.
Oh, so I would go to home games with Big Country Reeves.
I remember Big Country.
It was a huge letdown. Like, he was one of our first draft picks or whatever.
Yeah.
And then never lived up to the hype and retired. And then I think we're still paying his salary years after he was gone.
Good for him. Do you know why I know who Big Reeves is? Not from basketball, but from NBA Hang Time for Nintendo 64.
Yeah?
Yeah, that was probably, 1996? You're 10 or 11?
Yeah.
Big Country.
Big Country Reeves, yeah.
Big Country.
We had Sharif Abdur-Rahim.
Yeah, I remember that. The Muslim name.
Mike Bibby was on our
Bib before he went to Sacramento.
Before he went to Sacramento.
Yeah.
Abdur-Rahim before he went to Atlanta.
Yeah.
It was like... And Seattle, like, by default, Vancouver, and then, like, a lot of Vancouver people cheer for Seattle teams. Like, for baseball, like, we don't have a baseball team, so people are in Vancouver they're either Mariners fans or Blue Jays fans.
Okay.
Then for football, it's generally Seahawks or whatever.
They're good. They're close. It
when
makes sense.
when the Supersonics left, That was kind of like, oh, that's sort of kills Pacific Northwest sports opportunities to watch stuff. And if the
Different vibe. Pacific Northwest, different vibe. They don't, they're pretty much comparable to San Diego. Like you have to kind of have a good team, or else they're going to take off. Like the Chargers.
The frustrating thing is that if the Supersonics had have waited for like 3 more years,
they had Kevin Durant. A lot of people don't know.
They drafted Kevin Durant and he played 1 year. Was it just 1 year?
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. Kevin Durant got drafted to the Seattle Supersonics.
Portland Trailblazers picked Greg Oden before him.
Biggest bust ever, next to Kwame Brown. Or who's the white dude that went to Gonzaga? Adam Morrison.
Morrison?
Yeah. Tom Alvarado.
Yeah, because
sorry.
OKC, like Seattle went to Oklahoma City.
Yeah, that was a weird one.
And the years after, they had Durant, Westbrook, Harden.
Yeah.
For years, and it's like one of those they're all Hall of Fame like superstars.
But they would always lose to the Lakers.
Yeah, that was the same era that
Kobe, Ron Artest, and Gasol. Remember that elbow when Meta World Peace took out James Harden, just elbowed him right in his temple or right in his ear.
Have you seen the Netflix documentary about Malice in the Palace?
Yeah, it's good. I'm kind of 50-50 on it. They're kind of have like victim mentality, but like I get it. And obviously the media ruined it and they turned it into a thing. But like at the end of the day, you can't be a fan that throws a beer on an athlete's face. But you also can't be an athlete that runs up into the stands and just starts throwing haymakers. But the media turned it into like, it was all the basketball players' fault. Since like, I don't know, if I'm a pro athlete and somebody throws something at my face, I probably could go into the stands, especially if I just fouled out or Ben Wallace just pushed me or whatever. But what was cool about that was I forgot how good that the Pacers were that year. And they were like the number 1 team to win in Vegas with Jermaine O'Neal. And that screwed it all up. And Jermaine O'Neal, who's like the leader of that team, won't let that down, as he shouldn't. But you could tell that like he's not down with Ron Artest. Like he was like, this was our 1 year. We're trying to win it for Reggie Miller. But like the media construes it like every NBA player is like a thug. It's like tattoos next. But it's like, yeah, but you also can't fuck with players. You can't, like you always love the picture when the girl is trying to take the selfie too close to the cage and the tiger pulls her in. We love that because like you don't do shit like that. You pay the price. But that was a good documentary. That was a very good one. There's another one after that. We're kind of getting away from beer, but about the Tony Soprano guy that owned the hockey teams and his kid like was taken over for it. There's a whole like Italian mafia thing that actually owns one of the hockey teams. I don't know.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah. Well, we're coming down to the wire. Usually I try to do 2 hours and then it starts kind of derailing like it is now. Anybody got any questions? We got Todd Jackson still here. What time zone is Minnesota? It's 8:15 our time. David Collette.
10:15?
See you guys in 6 hours. Yeah, we'll tone it down. Want to give a big shout out to everyone who's here. Time flies when the beers kick in. We'll get you to 700 subscribers in the morning, Brash. Todd Jackson Central. Thelonious Monk wants to keep it going. I got to get some egg salad sandwich in me. I still haven't had some dinner. I'm eating like a bum tonight. John Reese, John Rice.
Now that I've finally figured out how to do the live stream, like this is the first time I've ever done this
back
live
to
stream
beer
thing.
Yeah,
it'll be easier for me to like
come back
do this
on
again if we wanted to do it again in a few weeks or months or whatever.
You are always welcome to come on, and me and Jorge talk about this all the time. We want to do a Sunday where we do like a Mario Kart theme, and I'll probably do it on Twitch because it's just conflict of interest. There's a lot of video game guys in here, Thelonious, Jorge, myself. But that would be more of a Twitch thing. So that way I could get just more people on. You know, when this thing started, it was just me. And then I wanted to have a guest on. And I think the guest thing works out much better. Because it's just tough to talk for more than like 30 or 45 minutes. I don't know how there's guys out there that do podcasts with no chat and they just talk for 2 or 3 hours and it's crazy. Like Chris D'Elia. I don't know how he does it. Joseph Ide. What's up, Braj? Back on video games. Let's go. All right, let's do 3 more beers. Tonight is my Saturday night. I have to go sober 5 days after this because I have to edit 3 videos. I have to do a big run on Saturday. Not that anybody cares, as I shouldn't. But I got to get videos out. I'm trying to get 30,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And I think that the stout video will do well. And I think that the 5-day hazy IPA video will do well. The beer isn't fully carbonated yet. But it's great. There's a little bit of hot burn. I'm going to give it a couple more days, and I think it's going to be the best beer we've ever done. And it's Pink Starburst 5-day hazy IPA. So we'll see.
Do you drink 100% of the beers you brew?
What do you mean?
Like, for me, pretty much all the beers that I've brewed for my channel, like for my videos, go straight in my keg, and I drink the whole thing. So, do you gift any beer away, or like?
No, that takes more time than actually editing.
I was always interested about the homebrew challenge guy, Martin. He was
I figured him out. He does 2-gallon batches.
He made so much beer, he does
2-gallon batches.
Yeah, that's how to do smaller batches, faster batches.
Yeah, you can't. Here's the thing. You can't do 20 gallons of beer a month. And if you do give it away or have people over, that just takes more time. People are like, hey, you should bottle it and give it away. I'm like, that takes a lot of time. I'm not at the point where I'm doing less than 5-gallon batches yet. I'm not knocking that. I have no problem with doing a 2.5-gallon batch of beer. Kind of weird, but I would do it. But if I were doing 4 batches a month, I'd probably have to. But I do about 2 batches a month. We do 2 batches of beer a month, a shitty cooking video, and then like 3 shorts or whatever. That's Homebrew for Life. And that takes a lot of time because I do everything. And if I had, more help with editing or something like that, you just find this like break even thing where you're paying more. I've tried it so many times. You try to bring somebody in and, they want to start telling you what to do or renegotiate, whatever. And it's just, it was just easier by myself. That's why me and Maury are like best friends. Not best friends. We've only known each other for 5 or 6 years, but we are 100% always on the same page. And if Maury needs to tell me something to do, I'm going to listen because he's a guy that like doesn't open up his mouth that much. And when he does, it counts. And I'm the guy that's like, hey, Maury, you got to do it again. And he doesn't get pissed off. Like if you're mumbling or looking down, Maury's a mumbler. I'm loud and I'm obnoxious. He has no problem. He doesn't take it personal. Nor do I with Maury. Like if Maury tells me like that was fucking dumb, redo it, constructive criticism, I'm like, okay, I'm on board. But if I know someone's dumb or stupider than me and they're trying to tell me what to do, I'm like, yeah, this isn't going to work out, man. And more often than not, they're my friends. So I just kind of nip it in the bud pretty fast. If someone shows up and they're getting too drunk or they start telling me like kind of what to do and they don't know like production or not that I do, but they're like, just do it this way. Or they start doing all this shit before I'm even filming. I'm like, dude, you got to tell me like before you do that, we have to get the cameras on. And then it's just back to the whole thing of working with your friends and paying them. And, I work at breweries that hire their friends and the brewery owners will be like, hey man, like go take the trash out. And their friend will be like, don't tell me what to do. It's like, well, yeah, I am telling you what to do because I'm paying you now. Like outside of these doors, we're best friends. But inside these doors, I'm your boss. And that's just a weird relationship with a lot of people, as it would be with me. I've been on both sides of it, but me and Maury have a lot of love. We all have a lot of love. Kevin, if I could afford him, what's up?
From the creative standpoint for like video production, that's incredibly valuable to have Maury or having someone there to be able to like assist in the production without offering like creative criticism or anything. Like you still have creative control without relinquishing that space and have the assistance. So that's really good.
It's impossible for someone to do a Homebrew for Life video the way that I want to do it because it's so 80s and 90s nostalgia, and you could chalk it up as ADD or something. And that's fair. But I could have somebody film, I could have somebody host, but when I want to put it together, I need it to have kind of how my sense of humor works. And everybody has a different sense of humor on the talking and hearing side. You know, we all are funny in our own ways, and we all think things are different and funny for certain reasons. And I've tried to have someone do a Homebrew for Life video from start to video twice, and it did not work out. It was noticeably different, and it was a waste of money and time. And that's all I got to say about that. I mean, you can't have like, I can't do your channel. You can't do mine. Like, I can't do Clawhammers. They can't do mine. I can't do the Brew Show. They can't do mine. At the end of the day, there's kind of not a composer vibe to it, but like we're kind of shitty little artists. We could all follow the same recipe, have the same title, but our videos are all going to be completely different. And it's, you know, if we were chefs or whatever, there'd be a little bit more kind of like closure. We could have a little bit more like, hey, like here's the recipe, follow along. But when you bring the camera out, it's a whole different world. We're just different. It's just different. On a small scale, on a big scale. If you took the script from Gangs of New York and gave it to 10 different directors, it would all be a completely different movie. That's all I got to say about that. Mechanic Brewing. Tom Alvarado, if it wasn't Homebrew for Life, Maury and CH, I'd probably have lost interest in the beginning. That's a great compliment, Tom. I really appreciate that, man. And we talk about this all the time, man. We have to keep people brewing. I talked to Todd Jackson about this. You know, we're a small community, which is cool because we all know each other. I think that there needs to be more homebrew cons. You know, I read about them in the magazines. There's a Minnesota one. There's Craft Beer Con and this and that. You would think there'd be one in every big beer city. Everyone knows GABF. Everyone knows, which is Denver. But like there should be.
Isn't there's going to be a homebrew convention next year? Like the biggest one, the American Homebrewers Association one, isn't that?
AHA or GABF?
I'm thinking, isn't AHA? Wasn't it? It was supposed to be in San Diego last year, but it turned virtual or whatever.
Yeah, they hit me up. They were like, "You want to do a virtual thing?" I was like, "No, it doesn't work that way." Party Time Brewing. I'll catch up tomorrow. The 3-year-old is ordering me down to his room. Cheers, Party Time. He will be on next Wednesday. He will definitely be on next Wednesday. John Reese, UBU, Mechanic Brewing. That's a cool name for a brewery or a beer. Maury puts the M in NBC. Maury's the best fucking guy ever to work with. If anybody's ever needs a head brewer or a dude that just like does it, you don't have to tell him what to do, not easily offended. And when he does talk, you better fucking listen. Maury's your dude. Maury's like the dude on the couch from Half Baked. Like, I think he's going to talk. I think he's going to say something. It's like, okay, I want you to shut the fuck up. Like, he's like, I think you should do like 2 more ounces of that. Cause like one of that would be like overkill. You're like, yeah, I never thought of it that way. But if anybody else told me that, I'd be like, shut your fucking mouth. GFB is not a homebrew con. HomebrewCon is AHA. Sorry, Jorge Castro. Yeah, GABF is the big one for commercial breweries. You got to get the gold medal in the popular beer categories. You got to get them in. That's a good question. What's the best style to get a gold medal in? Probably hazy IPA now over West Coast.
What's the best as in what's the easiest, or what's the best as in
Not
like
the easiest,
has the best?
But I mean, if you get a brown medal in like the cherry flavored saison category, sure you want a medal, but like no one gives a shit. Brown ales,
Well,
pale ale?
it'd be kind of cool to have a homebrew competition medal and to be like, yeah, I'm a gold medal winning brewer with my triple dark cherry vanilla barley wine, where there was only 2 entrants and I got gold and the other guy got silver. So that's like that would be like the cheap way to get a medal, but
That's bragging rights.
what would be
though.
like the biggest, most competitive? I wonder
Lager?
what that would be. What's the most competitive homebrew submission category?
Well, I think
most
it's the same as commercial. I think I think they would equally be as impacted. It would be the most difficult, but I would think that animated. If you owned a brewery, if I had a brewery in San Diego, you had one in Vancouver. What would you want? What gold medal would you want one of your beers to be on? I would probably still say. I would probably go West Coast IPA, hazy, and then lager, and then kettle sour. I would probably go in that 4.
Yeah,
I'd want the best West Coast IPA because that's what happened to Sculpin. Sculpin was winning those back in the 90s, and that's what put Sculpin on the map.
A good point.
Yeah, easy.
It seems like hazy IPAs have become
East Bay Jordan.
the most popular.
Yeah. I think East Bay Jordan is what's up. Yeah.
You have something that's more rare or more, I don't know,
Stouts.
something that's a little bit more unique. That would be kind of be like, oh yeah, that's the home of the country's best porter or something like that. But I feel like hazy IPAs are something you can drink year round, where like a bunch of lagers are more summer and stouts and porters and stuff like that is more winter. So it's like you'd want to be well known for a beer that has more universality of like anybody can drink the style as well as any time of year, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the thing about the West Coast IPA, though, is I still think it's the most universal beer outside of like the commercial lager. Like you could drink West Coast IPAs in the summer, in the winter. Fest beer. Fest beer is kind of a generalized beer. Hazy IPA is usually the category with the most submissions overall. I think Jorge is right. I think Jorge Castro is right. I think the last 20 years it would have been West Coast IPA, but I do think hazies are more popular than West Coast IPAs now. And Maury and I talked this morning about doing a blind taste contest with the 4 or 5 most popular hazies in America, and doing like, you know, the blindfold off and talking about distinguishing them and seeing which is more juicy, which is more spicy, which is more filling, and then putting the blindfold on and seeing if we could still tell the difference. And I don't know, maybe chalk it up on paper, this and that. But we were going to do Mine Haze from Firestone. We were going to do a little something from Sierra Nevada, which I love. I absolutely love. And then we were going to try to track down what's the biggest one? What's the one that Steve just sent me? Alchemist? Not Alchemist. Treehouse?
That's a pretty famous one.
Treehouse? Toppy Header. Heady Topper. Whatever the 2 most popular hazies are on the East Coast. And we were going to try to do a blind taste contest and try to figure it out. And Maury's like, we should use like our own buddies. We'll do like Battle Mage and Booze Bros. I'm like, no, we're not saying that like some of our good friends' beers came in like 5th place or 6th place. It's a lose-lose. If they win, if we put Battle Mage's Shroud of Mist up to Mind Haze from Firestone or Sierra Nevada, and it's number 1 blind taste contest, nobody can still find Battle Mage, and no one's going to fly out to Vista to get Battle Mage. And then if we like do the blind taste contest organically and it's number 6, we just shit all over our friend's brewery. And I would never want to do that. Heady Topper. Yeah, I do, John Reese. I remember that a lot. I remember that from like 10 years ago. Heady Topper is trash. Started it, but so many examples of this style. The thing about Heady Topper, Steve sent that to me last month, and nothing ever lives up to the hype. Nothing does, except for In-N-Out Burger. Theron, only 14 subscribers left from 700. Animated in the house, Barrage.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's a really good point. Is like the worst way to recommend a beer is to say it's the best or it's like the ultimate of whatever category.
Horrible.
Because it never lives up. The only advice you should ever give anybody if
It's good.
To advise
good.
your favorite beer is to say this is a decent beer,
Yeah.
and then they'll
It's
say,
good.
okay, I'll try it, and then it'll be like, whoa, yeah, that exceeded expectations.
Trevor Who in the house. What up, you Barrage? Trev Who, man. We're talking about 12-4. Tom Alvarado's going to be there. We're hanging out. Trevor's probably tripping out. We've got the South Park vibe going tonight, Barrage. Different palette for each of us. I just think whether it's, what sucks worse than beer is when somebody tells you that it's the funniest comedian of all time, or it's the funniest movie of all time, or like, listen to this song. And then they like sit down with you on a couch, or like, you have to listen to the song. You're like, this is so fucking awkward. This song sucks. And I can't say it to you, but like, I'm not into this. It's like a white friend trying to like make you sit down to like a rap song. You're just like, dude, this is not the best song ever, dude. Or your buddy telling you that, what was the movie everybody loved? The Hangover, best movie of all time. I'm like, it's good. It's good. But you're talking about like Young Frankenstein and Blazing Saddles and Animal House and Tommy Boy and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
The best way to make a beer, like you need to be primed to appreciate beer. I'd say one of the best things to make it so that you are well primed is to like have a physically exhausted day. Like beer never tastes better unless you've been doing physical manual labor.
Earn it. 100%. You are so right. The best beer of all time is the one you drink after you run a marathon. I don't care what it is. It's the best beer I've ever had.
It's like if you want to make your home, this is like, maybe this will be a good, advice video, but
that's
you say.
The best advice ever. Manual labor.
The best way to improve your home brew is to go and run a marathon, and then your home brew will taste 10 times better.
Hammer nails, out in the sun, trench, and I mean, there's a reason people say earn that beer because it's orgasmic. Even like a Modelo Light, I remember doing, where'd he go? Sink Piss. There he is. He's back. Digging trenches a couple summers ago. I was doing 3 years of construction, just breaking your back, dirt, sand in your fingernails. Coming home and cracking Modelo, it was like, I want to drink this and I just want to go to bed. Like I want to be like a baby. Like I'm so perfect right now. I just want eternal sleep. Not eternal sleep, but I want, 10 hours of good sleep. Best beer of all time is the beer you're drinking while eating ghost pepper wings, John Rice. Much love, bros. Hey, let's get out of here. Or do one more beer. We'll do a poll.
I got to get up tomorrow so I can do...
We'll see what the chat says.
See what the chat says.
One more beer. Ask your community. And real quick, I want to give a shout out to everybody who's here right now. This is a long one. And this is one that I'm not going to delete. Usually if they're over 2 hours, I'll take it down. We don't have to do that. We were good boys tonight. What do we got? Nobody yet? 100% yes. 100. We've got, let me look at this. The chat is rolling. Trev, let's go to Pizza Port. Trev who? Trev what? One more beer. I'm going to click yes. We've got 13 votes. Oh, I can't do it from here. Jorge Castro is coming out for Trev Who's birthday bash. It is his birthday. He's a born-again brewery owner. 12-4. Okay, people are starting to say no. Okay. Trev, no, this is animated homebrew. This is definitely not a bot. This is not a South Park character. He does his channel this way, Braj. It's animated homebrewing. He's got something close to about 690 subscribers. We're trying to get him over 700 tonight. Is Todd out of here? Later, Todd. Later, you brush. All right, we got 21 votes. All right, we're going to do the nightcap. After the nightcap, let's kill this poll, see what we're dealing with. They're only saying 5 more beers. All right, we got 22 votes. Looks like a couple downs. Trev, who is going to be your subscriber? Who's going to be the 700th?
I think it'll happen tomorrow.
Hey, we're doing this for Park It on a Urchin right now. He's got to be up at 4:45, but he's going to crack a beer. And if he can crack a beer, we can crack a beer. 687.
Right,
Trev,
I'll go top up.
You're going to top up? All right, I'll hold down the chat. Kurt Pickens the Barrage. Always is, always will be. Jay Falk. Good morning, lads from Denmark. Hell yeah, dude. We got Denmark in the house. Thank you for subscribing, man. Thank you for being here and subscribing to Animated Mats, man. Let's keep crashing. Mechanic Brewing. Let's light this crowd candle. Tom Alvarado's also a moderator. He's a wrench holder. You know what? Let's just keep this going. This is my Saturday night. It's 7 o'clock on the dot.
Back off, war child, seriously.
13 away. Delonius. 12 left. Delonius just made a reel. You were the man, Dale. You were the barrage. And tell Roswell, as I said, what up, man. That was we were the original gruesome threesome. Flex the Wrench IPA. Park it on your chin. Now I get it. Now I'm caught up. Come here. What's 169 mean?
Come on down! Get over here!
Let's get grunked up. Is that a Gronkowski thing to say? Just cracked a new beer. All right, Tom Mellon. This one's for you. I'm going to get a hazy IPA Angry Orchard after this. Trev, you want to cruise over? There's no way he can cruise over, but he's invited. He's back.
And I'm back.
Yeah, he's doing the worm.
Come here!
All right, hold it down, bro. I'll be right back.
All right.
You're almost there, Braj.
What do I got? That's 688. That's plus 40 in a night. That's the record. Does everyone have on tap? I'm drinking a 6% brown ale I brewed a couple weeks ago. Seems like something to be drinking in November. See you later, Trev Who. Antonio, thank you for subscribing, doing your part. And more to go. It feels like a telethon. Need people to subscribe. Whole Cone IPA.
Right.
Not make again.
Matt, can you send us a selfie so we can see what you look like in real life?
Sure.
No, wrong answer. Don't do it. Don't
Wrong answer, yeah.
Yeah, don't ever.
Is that going to be my that's my shtick? I'm never allowed to show my face again?
Ever. Never ever. Wilson from Home Improvement, man. Not even that one time, man. Not even that one time. El Dorado Hazy.
I could be doing this entire live stream in my underpants and no one would even know.
You are going to be like Batman. Yes, you are. You're like an anchor man. No one's going to know what you're doing, what you're wearing. Yeah, Trev Hood, never show your face. And we learned this from Yeast and the Bees. He's going to give his name reveal, and it's going to be something like Chris or Jason or Mason or Jason, and then we're going to be like, that did not live up to the hype. Why did you not just tell us that from day one? This is stupid. Never show your face. Yeah, Yeast and the Beast. It's whatever your name is, it's not going to live up to the hype. But I do want to see your face, dude. Is it like Steve Urkel or something?
Face?
Never tell them your name. Yeah, Beast, never tell them your name. I'm going to guess your name is Mason Jason. Jason Mason. Elmer. CNN Minute Homebrew now would be. I mean, just guess the name enough. I don't know, whatever. I'll watch
I think
that.
Bart Simpson is voiced by a female.
He is. I know that. Everyone knows that. She's been doing it for like 30 years. So what do you do for a living, Braj?
Digital marketing and a few other media-related stuff.
What does that mean?
Marketing campaigns for companies doing stuff online.
Is it cool?
All right. It's been like it's not as affected as COVID as other industries, so grateful for that.
Cool. Cool. Yeast and the Beast's name is Slim Shady.
What if his name actually is Yeast and the Beast?
No, Arno just
this
nailed
whole
it.
thing has just been
If-
shade on trying to throw us off.
If Yeast's name is Chris, then ban him. If we come down to it and his name is like Ryan or Chris, he's getting blocked. Toddzilla. My name is Chicka. Nah, Yeast and the Beast. Braj, never tell us your name. Your name is Yeast and the Beast. That's your name. I don't know. Animated, what else is good, man?
What else is good? I've got I need to figure out my video schedule. I was putting together a few other clips of for Trappist tasting ones, but I've got a backlog of like 5 or 6 grain to glass videos, so I think I probably should do one of those next.
How much do you divulge about your personal life on the internet? You do a bunch of social media and stuff, or is it just YouTube? Is it just the
It's most I guess I'm sort of keeping it more isolated and
This is
so
too much.
yeah.
Are you married, family, kids, dogs?
Married, and I got 2 kids.
Right on, Brush. His name is Casey. His name is CH. Casey Sterling Hardy the second. Well, I don't know. I've officially ran out of shit to say. Do you have any questions for me?
Like I'm always interested in picking your brain about how
Why
to
did
do
you say that,
more
like 2 years
YouTube
ago?
stuff. But I'm not sure how much the people are interested in hearing us talk about YouTube algorithms and trying to figure out how to make your channel grow or whatever. But
It's like owning a brewery. Sometimes you want to make videos for you, and sometimes you want to make videos for other people, and you have to find a Venn diagram of that. So like I'm going to, before tonight, I did not want to make the Belgian video, but after talking with you and drinking that beer at Battle Mage, it's inspired me to make a 5-gallon batch of it. But my channel needs that, and it doesn't have that. And to give you advice on content strategy, I would make the best 8-minute videos. If I could go back in time and I could have 2 or 3 times more of the subscribers that I would have, which is cringy as hell, because talking about subscribers in a way is kind of talking about money. But that's kind of why we're here. We're talking about kind of how to grow on YouTube and talk about beer and grow with buddies' breweries and stuff like that. I would do 8-minute videos on the most popular beer styles. I would do exactly what the Apartment Brewer is doing, not dissing on him. He makes very long videos, but I would do that in 8-minute formats. And that's, you have 8 minutes of somebody's time. That's a lot of time.
is there something magical about 8 minutes?
Yeah, we're talking about that's the new algorithm.
That's the new algorithm. So now, are they going to change it again, or is that just?
I'm
they
sure they
change it
will.
all the time.
They do change it all the time. Back in the day, you could have like a 1-minute video or 2-minute tutorial video, and it was all about just I don't know what it was all about. But I used to have like 2-minute videos on YouTube that had like 500,000 views. And that it's kind of coming back to that with this whole TikTok thing. Anyway, my best advice to you, put out popular beer styles, not niche stuff. Like Mike and I from Culver, we were going to do this video this one time about like, let's make 2 different Belgian beer styles and put 2 different yeast in that. And it's like, dude, no, that is like niche of niche of niche of niche. I don't even have a West Coast IPA on our channel. I don't have a Belgian style. I don't have I've got a couple of hazies. I don't really have like a really good recipe on the channel, except for our original hazy IPA video 5 years ago when everybody thought that the hazy IPA came from new yeast styles, East Bay, White Labs. Now it's like everyone just hacks hazy IPAs. 60-40 grain bill, dry hop. Nothing to do with water. It's not going to matter. Don't tell Peter from Genus I said that. Yeast has less now to do with it than it used to. But just go after popular beer styles and make videos more around 6 or 8 minutes. You know, a lot of people have a very hard time nowadays clicking on a 15 or 20 minute video.
Have you gone back and looked to see which recipes you haven't done yet? Like the BJCP ones, be like, oh yeah, I haven't done any Belgians or West Coast IPAs or whatever. Like, you slowly trying to make your way through all the beer styles eventually, or is that just...
Not at all. Nothing like that. That would bore me to death. I'm not trying to talk shit about Martin's channel, the Homebrew Challenge, but that would drive me crazy. That would like the same shots, the same intro, the same everything. I mean, at the end of the day, to me, it's pretty much just changing the title up because it's the same everything. And I just can't do that because I've already done like 60 of those. And you could say that probably about cooking channels or car mechanic channels or eyebrow. Like, I've just shot this thing 60 times and you have to just do something new just to keep the sanity of yourself. And I know that works for Martin, and he's got a bigger channel and more views than I do. I could just never do that, ever fucking do that unless somebody paid me a lot of money. And even at that point, I'd get burned out because I know that I just
He had to brew a lot of the really strange, rare kind of like there's a few ones where you're like, okay, the funniest ones to me were the videos that he hated the beer. There was ones where he's like, oh, I just know I'm not going to like it. And he drinks it and he's like, his tasting thing is like, oh, this is.
Hey, he's got
like
he's got a good channel. He's got a really good channel, and people want to see him complete it and all this stuff. But, and I talk about this with Clawhammer. You know, he came on and like you start to go crazy. You're like, dude, how many times can we film these same shots? And you know what? Every cooking channel is like, how many times can we film these same shots? You know, so you just kind of have to throw in a shitty chili beer recipe video from time to time just to not lose your sanity. And I don't know. I think when I first started doing YouTube, my idea was to do, and this is a bad idea, but I wanted to do like, hey, one blind taste contest video, 4 videos a month, a grain to glass, a food video, a traveling video, and a blind taste contest video. But nobody cares about any of your videos unique visitor wise. All the barrages in here are returning visitors. They'll watch our content. They'll watch your content. But the unique visitor is what helps the channel grow. You know, Jorge Castro's got a brewery in Puerto Rico. He's got regulars. There's people in here that have breweries. How do you get the new guy in? What attracts the new guy? That's who you have to go after. So I'll make whatever 15-minute long videos. I'll have my shitty face on the thumbnail. It's like I look at YouTube videos and I'll type in something and a guy's like trying to act like an idiot in the thumbnail. I'm not going to click on that. But you know what? That's me on the other side of it. So if you look at like, I was talking to Chris Vodka the other day. We're talking about Homebrew Challenge Martin's thumbnails. And you just look at his videos and you look back, you can see the evolution of the thumbnail changing. Like it went to like, hey, like $20 beer versus $2 beer. Sometimes that shit works. Or sometimes like you just have to get your fucking face out of everyone's life and just be like, hey, this is how to make beer in 3 days. And just, I don't know. There's a way better chance that the new guy is going to click on that. It's not about the returning customer. I'm always going to be bullshit on YouTube, and I'm going to be myself, and we're going to dick off. But the thumbnail is your CTR. It's your click-through rate impression. You know, and that's like your title, your topic. This is your beer menu. What are you making and why? What hops? And what's your ABV? Same thing goes for YouTube. It's your title, your topic, your thumbnail, and how long is the video. It's kind of funny. The length of your YouTube video is kind of your ABV. That's like the ultimate determinant. Like, do I really want to drink a 20% beer? Do I really want to click on this 16-minute video? And once they click on that, then it's up to you. Then it's your content. Then that now it's up to you. But just to get somebody to click, get somebody in your store is a psychology.
I think I need to, like, there's so many different aspects to it that I need to change my.
That's why businesses have consultants.
That's why everybody. Titles.
Yeah, look at all my YouTube videos now. All my I took my face on the majority off them, and I'm getting way more views. I got rid of my face, and people like the channel more. And it's not the returning cut. It's not the barrages that are here right now. It's the new guy who's getting into homebrewing. Does he want to see me like, It's like, no, I'm out. Like, I hate when people do that. You do that for reaction videos. If you're going to be like, oh my God, this fucking guy sat on a cockroach. If you're Mr. Beast or something. If I just want a cooking video or a tutorial video or a beer video, I don't want an obnoxious, shitty fucking face on the thumbnail, especially mine. And I got to say that to Matt Ushman because I could tell that he's kind of doing like, no way, like you're never going to believe. You don't have to do that for tutorial channels. The Brew Show's back. What up? I was hoping to see disheveled and drunk animated cartoon. Yeah, so we're just kind of back to the drawing board. But I'll talk to you more off camera, off this. You know, it's kind of weird. But I do want your channel to grow, and there's kind of reality to get.
Well, it looks like I've gained a good 40-something subscribers, which is at 690 now. Which
Barrages is helping barrages, baby.
That's like, yeah, that's several weeks worth of subscribers all in one day. So cheers for that.
Yeah, man. And I'm saying this stuff to you because I've always kind of talked about, I've always had, like, the stream was always behind the curtain, what goes on, my relationship with Maury, my relationship with these guys, this and that. I don't know if that's a good thing or that's a bad thing. I don't know. I think that this live stream's kind of built off kind of being behind that. But at the end of the day, you got to get people in your store. I don't care if you're 7-Eleven. I don't care if you're a YouTube channel. I don't care if you're a new brewery. I don't care if you're Walmart. You have to get people in the store. And you have to focus on your biggest target audience is somebody who's never been in your store. Best laugh of the night. I took off my face and people like the videos more. Very true story. I could show you the analytics on that. The views went up like 20%. How'd you animate your mouth? Beast is late to the table. I completely understand targeting the newbies, but don't forsake the veterans looking for niche shit. I think a good mix is the answer. Delonius, I don't care at all. I'll get cancel culture. I probably won't. I think cancel culture is a thing of the past. Look at this guy. Homebrew for Life will always have the same theme, but the thumbnails will be different and the average duration will be different and the topics might be a little different. But once you click on it, it's all Krusty's Funhouse. It's all failed class clown bullshit. Rosh beer videos. Yeah, animated. What software do you use? We got a couple guys late to the table. I can answer that question. It's Adobe Premiere.
It's Adobe.
Yeah.
It's actually you need like 4 different kinds of Adobe software. So you can actually the main software is called Character Animator. But in order for that to run, you also need Photoshop and
MySpace.
Then you also need to export it into After Effects and Premiere Pro. So like I use 5 different of the animation Adobe software things to put it all together.
We got Brazil in the house, man. Twin Monkeys Homebrewing. He's the barrage. He's always commenting on the videos I chop up after, man. Let's give him a warm welcome and treat him with the same respect that we treat us. None. No, I'm just kidding, man. Twin Oaks. Twin Monkeys, man. We've had Brazil in the house tonight. We've had Denmark in the house tonight. We've had New Zealand in the house tonight. Yeah. We got Canada in the house tonight. He's literally in the house. He's behind a bar. He's a cartoon. John Royce, always appreciate the content. I love it. I love putting out content for a living. The way, it's the same as Jorge Castro. It's the way as Jorge Castro or anybody that owns a business. You're going to be there for 8 hours. Do you want to make $5 a day or $500 a day? You're already going to be there for 8 hours. How you figure that, how to make $5 a day or $500 a day, that's on your business model. And as a bummer as this sounds, every YouTuber that's successful knows these things. Every business that's successful knows these things. Every politician that's successful knows these things. They know what to do and they know what not to do. And I finally kind of looked this shit up a month ago. But all I'm saying is that the only thing that's going to change is the thumbnail and the average user duration. Click on Homebrew for Life tomorrow. It's just like, we're wearing glasses, wearing suits. I was like, hi guys. Welcome to Homebrew for Life. Smash that like button. Come on down. New vote for funny as shit. USA in the house tonight. Theron and MySpace. Yeah, I have a MySpace tattoo. Can't show it to you because we're live. It's on my inner thigh. But big shout out to Twin Monkeys, man. I love when other people are here from different countries. And he's got a YouTube channel. I'm going to plug it right now. I don't speak Portuguese that well, but I was looking at that keg that you chopped up. I'm going to give you a shout out, you barrage. That means you have to buy an Animated Homebrewing t-shirt, though. They're not going to ship to Brazil.
No.
Twin Monkeys. He's got a cool channel. And I get the tutorials, man. It's kind of Homebrew for Life-ish. 41 subscribers, 20 videos. Brasilia, Brazil. Here's his videos. So you got the spunning valve. All right, here's his newest upload. That's not him. That's the ad. I was hoping this is you. This is the guy on the ads that I hate. Looks good, man. All right, we'll pop this in here. Just throw this in the stream. If anybody can give some Brosh some love, be greatly appreciated. LimeWire. Yeah, Bear Share. It's coming back. Dude pulled a beer from his pocket. We're coming up on 3 hours. Good vibes. Twin Monkeys, what's your name, Brosh? Or are you going to pull a Yeast and the Beast? He's not going to tell us till he gets 1,000 subscribers. Bear Share. Bear Share IPA. I believe it went Napster, Bear Share, LimeWire, and then it was just on. Napster. I just watched that movie like a month ago with the Social Network. Twin Monkeys, Braj. He's here in spirit. But hey, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here, Matt. I'm serious this time.
All right.
We're gonna get. See, how'd you do that? How'd you do like the Delonious Monk? Just subscribe to Twin Monkeys, man. That's what Chill Vibes is all about. He said Chill Vibes, right? Good vibes. Al Bro is back. He is back, and he's the brunch. We're getting out of here. We're saying goodbyes. I'm going to go sleep on my couch and play Donkey Kong and throw in a dipper. Dude pulled a beer from his pocket. Yeah. Yeah, I got to watch that video. I watched the one. That is awesome. Making a YouTube tutorial and you pull a beer out of your pocket. T-Man, what's up, you barrage? God, should I crack another beer? Yeast in the barrage. It's 9 o'clock our time, Matt. What are you doing? Wait, so how'd you do that? Did you check your phone? And it really checked your phone?
I got a phone button here, and I got the look at the phone button and a move the phone button.
We got to get out of here.
Buttons.
On that note, he's got way too many buttons. All right, Animated
right.
Matt, what's your last words, man? Subscribe to your channel, get you over 700?
Yeah. Check out the channel. I've got Belgian ales and then homebrewing videos as well. Then I'll be probably putting together another grain to glass sometime in the next week or two. So check it out.
I look forward to your channel. We'll talk tomorrow, and I can kind of hone you in on the do's or don'ts of trying to get people into your store, into your YouTube content store. Tom Alvarado, we're out of here. All the barrages after playing the Twitch stream. No, we're not ready for that. I wish so. Thelonious, good to see you here, Barrage. I'll be hating life tomorrow for sure. Park it on your chin. Much love. Give a big shout out. These are my favorite nights of the week. I got to do 5 days sober after this. And Ruben Ramirez, good night. You inspire every time, brother. I appreciate that. You're the only person that's ever said that to me. Jorge Castro, you're the barrage, man. And everybody have a good night. I wish everybody well. Al Bro, sub to your channel. Well, we're plugging everyone's channel now. Who's got a YouTube channel? Who's got Instagram?
Everyone, subscribe to everyone.
No. On YouTube, yes. On Instagram, it's going to get obnoxious really fast. Hey, everybody have a good night. And we'll be back here Wednesday with Party Time Brews. I
know what we have to do.
What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What?
Just say it! M.
Say it.
B.
Say when.
C.